Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. On the Mace intro.
I know, right? I think if you can double check for me real quick, I think my volume is off, but if you can check the stream real quick. Um, what's good, y'all? Like, it's been a minute. A nigga had no internet.
It's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you. Another dope beat to step two.
Like, yeah, no, my internet was out, so even if we wanted to broadcast or wanted to do something, it wasn't gonna happen. Yeah, episode 6, we got 15 minutes in and my shit was just like, nah. But I got a new modem, got my internet situation fixed. We good now. We out here.
Back, niggas.
Aaron Rodgers has been sacked 80 times on the year. Damn. How the fuck is he alive? Like,
You started your game.
I'm about to right now. I was looking at my stats and shit.
You on Twitch, right?
Yeah, I'm on Twitch.
I was just saying you offline.
But we'll get that figured out here in a second.
Okay, no, I got it. It's up there. Because you playing the Bills, right?
Yep.
Yeah, you good.
Alright. But yeah, no, it's been
Merry Christmas to y'all too. We missed Christmas.
yeah, we missed Christmas. We gonna be going over stuff.
We were going to do a Christmas episode, but yeah, a long day, long days.
Long
Christmas
day.
Eve, Christmas Day, long days. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, you was feeling yourself on those long days, yo.
Man, look. Christmas Eve, niggas was lit.
See, that's the one thing, like, I'll be mad sad about, like, because nobody in my family, like, really drinks, except for me. And so, like, everybody be talking about, like, yo, Christmas
I
is
ain't
lit.
let you out here being the black sheep of the family.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, everybody be talking, like, posting, like, all these Snapchats and shit about, like, them drinking with their uncles and shit and, like, drinking with their cousins and having, like, these little parties. And I'm like,
They said, of course, it's the one that's half black that want to drink. You want to be the alcoholic.
absolutely. Bro, I got my Henny in here. Like, my shit, I'm ready. We playing in the snow. What the fuck is this bullshit? But I'm just like, if I took a Snapchat, you'd have just seen a bunch of people sitting around at the table eating food, acting like, you know, some real polite people of society. I mean, I snuck away to room and started drinking, but that's, you know, my own inner alcoholic ambitions. But you know, we won't get on that topic yet. But yeah, so that was my Christmas. My Christmas was dull. I mean, I got to eat a lot.
You got New Year's. What you got going on for New Year's?
We going to I got a friend who always hosts a New Year's party and shit at her place, so we'll be up there. I'll definitely be drunk for New Year's. That's a fact. That is a fact. They have all these pictures and memes and shit, and it's like, have you seen the ones that are like the song at like a certain time, and by the time 12 o'clock hits, it'll say this,
Oh, yeah.
and they'll be like, start your New Year's off right, and I'm like, shit, nigga, I'm gonna start my New Year's off drunk. I don't give a fuck what song's playing. Like,
That's a fact. We having in my family. We having like a masquerade type party at my uncle's house.
yeah, those are dope.
So we gonna be like super drunk.
Hey, I'm gonna come through, yo.
And I don't even want. You said what? You want me to send a PJ?
I'm gonna come through, yo.
You want me to send a PJ your way? Send a private jet out there to you?
Hey, man.
Go scoop my man up. He can't miss this.
Hey, it was well, so is it here? Nah. Besides that, though, how your 2 weeks been? Because we haven't really been able to talk that much the last 2 weeks. Like, I know it's like
Yeah, because I mean, I know the 1 week I was sick, and that was when we ended up with only the 20-minute episode, and then other than that, everything's been cool. I've been kind of busy at work. My boss is about to have back surgery, so he'll be down for 3 to 6 months. So while he's gone, I'm running shit. So I mean, I've been dealing with those headaches. But, you know, besides that, it's just been regular shit. I mean, a lot of last minute Christmas shopping, shit like that.
I did massive last Christmas. So by the way, I actually had to take an Uber because I had to get new tires on my truck, and so when I went to Uber back to the car place, I was even talking to the dude, and he was like, "Yeah, I did like crazy last minute Christmas shopping." I'm like, "Next year, I'm gonna just write a check for $1,000 and go in my room and cry and drink." Like, I'm not for all this shit, getting presents for everybody, and doing all this extra shit, trying to plan. And I got like a bunch of little cousins, so you can't even just give them money. Like, they want like actual toys and shit, and want presents under a tree, and I'm like, y'all be doing the most. Like, can't y'all niggas just take like $20 and leave me alone?
Yeah, I said I'm about to start Christmas shopping for next year right now.
That's what I'm right. No, my grandma's like, she's good about that shit.
You got all these big sales that go on after Christmas and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, look, I'm about to start shopping for y'all now.
That's what my grandma does. She'll be getting deliveries and shit for Amazon in like June and be like, oh, what that's for? Christmas. I'm like, damn. All right. But she do get crazy deals on them though.
Yeah, the deals you get around the holidays, that shit is crazy.
Yeah.
So I said I definitely said I was starting early.
I said that shit too, but knowing damn well I'm gonna be.
I mean, I say that every year, you know.
I'm gonna be in the same situation next year and shit. Like,
I know, but it sounds good. That's just like you got the same niggas that say New Year, New Me.
Hey,
wait till all these New Year, New Me tweets and posts and shit.
No, that's what. I definitely got one. Don't get me wrong, I already planned my shit out. Like, I'm gonna do my shit on Instagram and then share that shit to Facebook. But it's like, my New Year, New Me shit is like shit that I've already been working on. So it's like, I'm gonna have a picture and shit of my podcast. Of I just got promoted at my job, so I'm gonna have like a picture of like my badge and shit. So like I'm gonna have like
promoted to. What's your position now?
So if it was a regular, so if there's so I was basically like an assistant manager. Like, we have a different title technically, but now I'm just the manager. So like I'm in charge of that shit. Man. So
congratulations, my guy.
Thank you. Oh, I just threw an interception. How did I throw that one?
Okay. I definitely threw an interception already. I'm down 7-3.
Yeah, but not like I've had a great, for not having internet. I've had a hell of a 2 weeks. Like I said, I've been averaging on YouTube like 2,000 views a week. I got promoted. Also, not only got promoted, it's at a new school that's not nearly as I think challenging is the professional word they want me to use, as far as the children are concerned. Like, it's still a ghetto school, but it's not nearly as bad. My school was just something else. So, yeah, no, I've had a real good 2 weeks. So, you know, Santa came. Now with this modem, I got even faster internet than when I had at the old apartment. So, you know, I'm living up right now.
Living your best life, as they say.
Amen. That's what, like, as I said, it's new year, new me, but I'm gonna improve on the old me. And I already got that shit in. In the works. So
I just ran back a kick return. Let's get it.
Yeah. But that's pretty much.
Yeah, no, I ain't had too much. There ain't been too much going on with me. I've been I've just been working, you know, trying to plan some shit out, trying to make a couple, you know, moves I'm trying to make some money moves, as Cardi B would say, in the words of Cardi B.
Shout out to Cardi. Cardi's just a cool person.
Money moves. Queen Cardi, she known as Queen Cardi in my household.
She's just a cool ass person. Like, she's her and Chance are like the same.
It's cool like to just watch somebody be themselves and not give a fuck.
Yeah.
That's the dopest shit.
Like, and I probably I can't say that. Like, her and Chance I probably listen to about the same, which is very little. But they both like some dope people.
Yeah, it's like I mean, there's a lot. We say it all the time. There's people that you like, you just like them. You Not even, it ain't got shit to do with their music or nothing. You just like, you just like their personalities or whatever it might be.
Yeah, because I don't listen to Chance. But I listen to one Chance song, and it's not because of him.
Chance, that's like you might as well listen to some gospel rap.
Basically, like, but Chance a cool dude. What is it? Since we missed the last 2 weeks, we normally obviously stream on Monday, and last Monday was an important day because I think we both agreed probably the best player we've seen in real time, because we're not on the LeBron James bandwagon, but one Kobe Bean Bryant got number 8 and number 24 retired.
Two numbers, just for y'all that didn't know.
Yeah. And I want to start this off as far as like some commentary about Kobe. For all y'all niggas that's out there saying, oh, LeBron's better, LeBron's this, where was y'all 10 years ago when Kobe was handing LeBron his ass and he was handing every team in the league their ass and going to the finals year after year? Like, for all y'all that was on Twitter talking mad shit about he wasn't this, he wasn't that, what was your team doing when Kobe was in the league? Because I know what my team was doing, getting their ass whooped.
Nothing.
Like Kobe not only whooped my team's ass, he dunked on my favorite player at the time. Now, in fairness, Chris Paul wasn't on the Hornets anymore when he got dunked on, but still, that was like his first year in LA, and Kobe said, "This is my town." So for all y'all niggas,
point to get across.
Yeah, no, so like, I was like, I shouldn't have been heated, but I was heated. I'm like, y'all niggas talking all this shit now just because it's like the Joe Budden theory. Like, now that he retired, everybody can take their shots at him. Like, act like Kobe won't come back tomorrow and drop 25 on your favorite player. And I brought this up on the podcast. Oh, what the fuck? How'd I just let that catch that nigga? Is for all y'all that, and I'm gonna give it to you as far as like your comments. For everybody that was talking about, oh, LeBron's the greatest player ever in his 15th season. In Kobe's 15th season, he dropped 27, 6, and 6. And I'm sorry, no, it was 28, 5, and 6, and won the finals that year. And in his 17th season, before he just fell out because of his injury, was averaging 27, 6, and 6. So before anyone comes out with like LeBron's the greatest player of all time in his 15th season, check your numbers and stop disrespecting my man. Put some fucking respect on that man's name. Like,
Put some respect on it.
And that's real respect. That, in my opinion, the third greatest player of all time. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely. I mean, we know I'm a Kobe fan as well. Definitely not on the LeBron boat. I mean, like I said, I think it was just dope that, I mean, we talked about it even before the jerseys got retired. How it was just how we felt like he deserved to have both of those jerseys retired. So it was dope to see it happen.
Yeah, and like people was talking about like who was better, number 8 or number 24. To me, it really didn't matter which one was better. I will say, I think number 8 was a better player. I think number 24 was more dominant. Because when Kobe turned to 24, he didn't let nobody have shit. It was his league, and y'all niggas had to deal with him.
And look, I got a problem with y'all niggas that keep trying to disrespect Kobe, talking about how he had Shaq and shit. Y'all better check Kobe's numbers when Shaq was there.
I put that on the podcast too.
Acting like Shaq carried Kobe or some shit.
Shaq carried Kobe for 1 year, and there's only one.
Only time Shaq carried Kobe after they left, and Kobe jumped on his back.
Like, the only year I'll give you is the first year in the finals. Shaq averaged 31, and I don't even know if I'd carry because Kobe averaged 22.
Nigga, if you average over 22, you didn't get. If you averaged over 20 points, you didn't get carried.
Like,
I'm sorry. I mean, and it ain't taking nothing away from Shaq because Shaq is just that dominant.
Yeah.
That is what it is. But y'all can't sit here and act like he got carried.
And then, the only reason I'd say I'd ever even concede year one is because year two and year three, Shaq averaged 31, Kobe averaged 29, Shaq averaged 30, Kobe averaged 28. So those are definitely dead as far as him getting carried. Like, I don't know. I think it's just, like I said, it's easier to hate on Kobe now because he's retired. But the fact is, when he was in the league, I think you even made the comment, it was like, you used to not fuck with Kobe. And then Kobe started breaking his foot off and all your favorite players' asses, and you kind of got to be like, all right, I concede.
It's like, it was almost like, because Melo was my favorite player. Melo was in the West. Kobe was in the West.
Yeah.
Kobe was out there handing ass whoopers out left and right.
I feel you.
But then it was just like, it was honestly, it was like just watching him play. I'm like, it's like, what can you do?
Yeah. No, like with Chris Paul, it was, and it was gosh, it was so fucked. I remember like just being like Kobe was like the one team where like even if you'd be like, yo, my team's got it, my team's stacked, like you never wanted to see like your team was playing him. Like niggas was like, you was like actually scared to have your team have to play the Lakers.
What did Lil Wayne say? Double team, triple team.
That's my shit.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter.
It didn't. Like he was just he's another level. Yo, I tried to throw a pass and my dude just slipped on the ground. I'm kind of heated right now. But what was it? Fucking. So yeah, Kobe. And like I said, I probably got Kobe as my third. I'll give Mike number one. Let's go, AP. Oh, we gone. But yeah, no, Mike's number one. Kareem I got number two. And then I got Kobe 3. And I normally don't put centers really high. Like, I would never rank Shaq on a top 10 list. And as much as I like Shaq, there is something to when, like, you're just that fucking big. Like, you don't actually have a whole lot of basketball skill. You're just too fucking big to deal with. I think Kareem and Hakeem are the two I'll make an exception for, where I think they were skilled enough that even if they weren't 7 feet tall, they could have played.
Right.
Shaq, there's not a chance in hell if he's 6'1", he's making the NBA. And that's just, I fucks with Shaq. Shaq's one of my favorite players. Super funny, super cool. He's not playing at 6'1". Hakeem might be the greatest player ever just because of 2K. Because I swear, I played him like 3 times on 2K, and he put his foot far up my ass each time. Like, that shit was terrible. I mean, my man would have like 20 and 20 at halftime. But
he spazzed on 2K.
Yeah, that nigga. Yeah, any of y'all doing fantasy drafts?
You gonna be here for a long night.
Like, that's the kind of shit. Like, even when you outshoot the shit out of the other team, and like you be making hella threes, like you still feel him. Like, is this nigga ever not gonna score? But
yeah, no, Kobe is that. Like I said, it was dope to see. It was dope. I mean, just see, all the people that was there supporting. You seen Shaq there. You seen AI there. You see, all these Hall of Famers being there to support him and everything. And I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you seen it when they were asking Shaq about the shit with Kobe and because they were saying if he ever wished that they could have squashed their beef or whatever, and how he was saying that it wasn't really like no real beef or nothing like that. That was just what everybody made it out to be. That was like kind of shocking. It was cool, but I was like, I thought y'all niggas had beef for real.
I think they had basketball beef. As far as like both them niggas on their own team want 20 to 25 shots a game. It's hard to do that when you're both on the same team. But as far as like real issues, I don't think either of them had real issues with each other.
So now back to the question that they also asked on there: who beating Kobe and Shaq in a 2-on-2?
Shit. They gotta be so any two ever, or do they have to be two that were on the same team at one point?
Same team.
Okay. Nobody. Like, there's no one, and I'll actually even concede the reason why that 2-on-2 can't lose is because of Shaq. Like, you could match up a couple Hall of Famers with Kobe, and like you could get a good game out of it. You literally can't match anyone up with Shaq, especially if Kobe's on the ring, on the perimeter. Like,
well, that's because it's not a single one on, like, it's not a single player in, like, that's stopping Kobe 1-on-1. And then it's like any of the Hall of Fame centers that you really could think of, none of them had the size and strength that Shaq had.
yeah.
Like, a lot of these guys were just like taller than everybody, but Shaq was like taller and just bigger and stronger than everybody.
Yeah. He was a monster. It's like, even if you put Mike, right? Like, if you put Mike and Pippen or Mike and Rodman, like, and
It's
say
over.
Mike,
Yeah, they don't stand a chance.
yeah, say Mike and Kobe cancel each other out. It don't matter because Pippen, Rod, anyone on the team can't stop Shaq. Which is why the 2v2 they're unstoppable. Like, they are 100% absolutely fucking unstoppable. Like, it's that there is no chance. I will ask. So we'll say. So we'll go to 07, right? Let's say Shaq is still, especially if he stayed with the Lakers, he could have played dominant until 07, right? And then his body just kind of broke down.
Right.
How many titles do they win if they stick together? So that means they lose in 04 to the Pistons still. So they got 3 up to 04. So they got 3 more years of being dominant. How many titles they get?
I'm thinking at least 2 more.
I agree.
At least 2 more.
I'm even going to say, I think if they resettled and refocused, I think they get all 3. Because let's put them in this hypothetical. So, who was it? 05 was the Spurs. Right? Yeah. 05 was the Spurs. 06 was the Heat. They definitely beat the Heat.
Definitely at least 2 more because the Heat don't even.
They're not in there
without
without
Shaq. They not. Yeah, without Shaq, they not there. As good as D Wade was, without Shaq, they don't get there.
And the Flash, that's my man's. I ain't gonna ever. I never disrespect D Wade, but they definitely not there. And even in his prime, the Flash wasn't fucking with Kobe. The Flash is
That's
Hall
a
of
fact.
Famer though. The Flash, he's the 3rd greatest 2 guard. Like, that's what's so fucked up. Is he's the 3rd greatest 2 guard. No offense, Clyde Drexler, and he still can't. And he can't fuck with number 2.
And but that was all like. That's like, I honestly, like, I mean, I don't think it was. Me personally, I don't think it was. Like, people argue that it was times where D Wade was the best player in the league. I don't think so.
No, never.
I don't think at any point in his career he could have had a better. He might have had a better season than somebody, but I don't think at any point was D Wade was better than Kobe. Even if y'all want to say, oh, this year or that year he had, whatever the numbers are, I don't care about that. I don't think at any point in D Wade's career he was better than Kobe Bryant.
I don't think he was ever better, because you got to think about D Wade's prime too. Is I don't think he was ever better than LeBron. I don't think he was ever better than Kobe. I don't think he was ever better than Tim Duncan. And that's the 3 players he had to go up against in his prime. And that's not saying that he wasn't like all-time great. Like I said, I think he's the 3rd greatest 2 guard ever. But, they don't change the fact of when you playing in the era with the number 1, it don't matter if you number 2. Damn. I'm throwing all kinds of picks this game. Fucking throwing in the snow is a bitch. Yes. So it's like, I think you get 3 more, which is crazy, because then think about it. They get 3 more. Kobe could have 8. Let's even give him 7. You think if Kobe got 7, he's the GOAT?
I don't really think there's no debating.
Because they would put him at 7-1.
I don't think if Kobe gets 7, I don't really know if we can debate that.
Do you think you have to be perfect at top, Mike? Like, do you think a nigga's got to go 7-0, or do you think just getting 7?
I don't think you have to be perfect if you get more. I think that's the argument with LeBron. Like if LeBron had 3 and he hasn't lost one, then it's a different argument versus him being 3-5. It's I mean it's a different argument when you if you go 3-0 instead of 3-5.
Correct. And so it's like, yeah, no. Kobe can take. So if he would have, I'll say he still loses to Boston the 1 year. Was Shaq still in the league? Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
Shit.
Shaq was Shaq. Yeah, Shaq was on. Was he still on? I don't think
That
he
was Phoenix.
Yeah, he was in Phoenix, right?
Okay, so that's Shaq. So if Shaq had finished out with the Lakers, right, like never goes anywhere else. Oh wait, Shaq is still competent, especially when you consider he's got a matchup with KG and especially Kendrick Perkins. Kendrick Perkins ain't doing shit. Kendrick Perkins probably actually doesn't have like a contract if Shaq whooped his ass in that finals, because Kendrick Perkins is still living off that shit.
Ain't no telling. Kendrick Perkins might have been third biggest nigga in the league at that time. You got Shaq, Dwight Howard, and Kendrick Perkins was the 3 biggest players in the league. He might still have a job.
That's true. What's crazy about it? So it's like if competent Shaq, yo, that's
imagine you say
crazy.
confident like he was stupid or something.
I was like confident in like play style, because the Shaq that went to Cleveland and Boston, that was terrible. Like that was terrible. I didn't even like seeing that shit. That was just whack.
They thought they was getting the Kobe Bryant stimulus package and shit.
That shit was whack. Like I hated seeing I don't like seeing Mike in Washington. I don't like seeing.
I like the fact that Kobe stayed with the Lakers. I don't want to see, if you're gonna play past your prime, I'd rather you be with with your team.
Yeah, 100%. Which injured Kobe, like I said, I don't even hold injured Kobe against him. And also for any nigga that's like, oh well, he got paid too much. The reason why any of these athletes get paid the way they do is because these owners of the teams aren't stupid. If Kobe wasn't selling more and merchandising worth more than $20 million, they wouldn't sign it for $20 million. So if everyone's like, oh, the Lakers got fucked, he put them in a terrible financial situation, the owners and the Buss family made every damn dollar.
Like as long as Kobe is on that team, as long as Kobe is there, they selling out every game.
Yeah, so it's like
Kobe was. I don't think it was the year Kobe probably wasn't top 5 in jersey sales.
Correct. And so it's like Kobe, even if it seemed play wise wasn't worth that money,
possibly
he was
top 3.
He was always like, he was actually fiscally worth that money, but a lot of niggas don't understand the finance part of it. But that's fine. That's why we're here to enlighten. Kobe with 7-8 rings just sound like that's absolutely the GOAT. Absolutely the fucking GOAT.
Mind you, if Kobe gets 6, look, if Kobe gets 6, I'm arguing. I don't care. I don't give a fuck about him losing.
That'd be the only thing. Is if he was 6-1 or 6-2, I would still probably concede to Mike. But if he's got more, then I'm going over him. Fuck Mike. And I actually just watched Space Jam yesterday. The movie's terrible, but it's still fun.
That's a classic.
It is. Like,
it's like when you look at a lot of these classics today, they are ass.
Yeah. So it's like, it's why I defer. The reason why I defer, and we'll get off the Kobe subject here in a second. This is gonna be a much longer episode, so and I'll have like 2 or 3 segment videos. By the way, for y'all watching on Twitch or watching on YouTube, just because we haven't been able to talk in a couple weeks, we got a lot of shit to say. But the reason why my list is the way it is I think 6-0, especially when no one's passed you post 70s, I think says something for Mike. And then Kareem is the most accomplished player of all time. Like, if people looked at Kareem's resume, it looks like it was fucking written up, and someone was like, "Well, how great can I make someone sound?" And that's what Kareem was. Kareem lost 1 game in college.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He lost no games in high school. Lost 1 game in college. Has 3 college national titles. Has 5 NBA titles. Is the all-time leading scorer. Has the greatest shot of all time. He's a fucking 16, 17-time All-Star. Like, Kareem's just pure because it's actually what's kind of crazy about like the basketball Hall of Fame compared to the other ones is there's no NBA Hall of Fame. There's just the basketball Hall of Fame. That's why there's like college coaches and college players and other shit.
Right.
And so Kareem might be the greatest overall basketball career ever. Like, niggas give it up to Mike because obviously Mike has the NBA part. But as far as just overall basketball resume, Kareem fucking has it. Which is why he's my number 2. But then Kobe's number 3. Do we think Kobe's the greatest Laker ever?
I do.
I do too. and I fucks with Magic. Magic's number 4 on my list. I think Magic's a more iconic and more important Laker than Kobe is. But I think Kobe was a better player. But I think what Magic and Bird did for the league, you just can't take away from. Like, they were that important because the league was on fucking tape delay at that point, which is kind of crazy to think about, being born in the 90s. Like, but, so they saved the NBA at one point in time. So I think Magic is a more important and more iconic figure than Kobe is, but Kobe's the greatest Laker.
Shout out to Magic, though.
Yeah, no, Magic's that dude. He's the top 5. Which is what's crazy is it's like, I still don't get all these people that get so heated and upset. And I'm probably about to sound like a hypocrite because I'll be getting heated and upset. But like, I'm okay with calling Kobe a top 5 player if I don't call him the greatest ever. I call him the greatest player I ever watched in real time because I didn't watch Mike in real time. I was 2 and 3 years old when he was winning titles and I was still, shit in my pants. So, wasn't watching him. But in real time, Kobe was the best player. And I identified it as I was never confident my team had a chance when Kobe was playing. I don't feel that way about LeBron. I don't feel that way about, never felt that way about D-Wade. Don't feel that way about, I don't feel that way about Durant or Curry. Well, I kind of do right now with Curry and Durant, but that's kind of the whole team, not just the individual player. I kind of be feeling like with them, like, damn, nigga, do we even need to play?
Mind you, I don't care how many interviews none of these players do saying that they think they got a chance. I know they don't believe it. Like, I don't care how many interviews LeBron do saying that he think they gonna be ready. LeBron don't believe that shit deep down.
I can believe it. Like, yeah, no, like, which is why, like, I think Curry and Durant are gonna fuck up the whole legacy thing because they will have. And I'm talking about this actually on Monday, is they're going to have one of the few, like, truly dominant runs in NBA history, and you're going to have to start, like, recognizing them as, they're going to put themselves in top 5, top 10 all-time category. Like, simply because of the impact they had on the game. But, that's that. Shout out
what's the knock you think, though?
The knock against them?
Yeah.
Is they'll be put in the same category as like in football, kind of like how Joe Montana and Jerry Rice are, where it's like, were you that great, or it's because you played with someone that great? Now I think Curry.
I feel like it's gonna be more of a knock on Durant than Curry.
100%.
Just because Curry won one without Durant.
Well, it's like, for anyone that's newly watching this, go check out Steph Curry. Steph Curry is the GOAT on my YouTube channel. I actually talk about it. Steph Curry's gonna fuck a lot of people's heads up, because by the time he's done, could theoretically have 4 or 5 titles. He'll be definitively the greatest at one thing on the court, and he will have the numbers to justify being top 10 in a couple different categories. You know who else is that? Magic Johnson. Like, people don't want to say it because he doesn't come off as such. But Steph is gonna have a top 5 all-time resume when it's all said and done. And I don't even know where I'd put him. It's like, because we've never had this kind of player have this kind of run. Like, the greatest short player in most people's eyes is Isaiah Thomas. I think Steph Curry is, I don't want to say it yet, but it's like, by the time it's said and done, I think he'll be better than Isaiah Thomas.
I don't even think it's gonna take for what to be said and done. I think if Steph, give Steph another 2-3 years.
That's the thing. It's like,
let him play at this level for the next 2 years.
It's over. But it's like people have, it's the same way. Like a lot of people, like I
And it's
get
like
the,
because realistically speaking, what's the? I mean, I guess the what people are saying is the worst part of his game is defense. But then other than that, what else are you gonna say?
yeah, like
He can finish at the basket. Y'all want to call him a shooter, but he can finish at the basket.
plus he puts up assist numbers, which is what's
He,
gonna
yeah,
fuck people's heads up.
His passing is underrated.
And it's like, but it's underrated, which is the crazy thing. Is like it's underrated via like the eye, but statistically he averages 7 assists. Which if he plays a couple more years and starts putting up numbers and continue to put up these numbers, he's gonna make his way to the top 10, 15 all time in assists. He's gonna fucking destroy the 3-point record. He's gonna have. He's gonna.
If don't nothing, unless some type of crazy injuries or some shit like that happen to Curry, God forbid, that 3-point record is as good as gone anyway.
Well, it's gonna be gone forever because there's not. Because who's gonna match that? Who is
like
ever?
He got him talking about like he got him saying should there be a 4-point line? Should they move the 3-point line back? Like these are the type of questions that they asking now.
Yeah.
Just because he make it look like layup, he shoot threes like layups.
And think about it. Go 3 years. There's a chance. I think this is a crazy number too. In 3 years, if they continue at their pace, not only will Steph be the all-time 3-point shooter, him and Klay Thompson will single-handedly own the top 10 all-time seasons.
You said the what?
Him and Klay will own the top 10 all-time 3-point seasons.
Oh yeah.
And that's in 3 years. And who knows how long his prime is or how long he can play, because Steph lost 2 or 3 years in the beginning of his career because of injury. And he's going to end up, he's a 3-point shooter. Like, he's not, even though he can finish, he's not getting physically beat the shit out of every night.
Right, that's
like,
the thing.
Like, Westbrook's going to crack way before Durant. And I fucks with Westbrook heavy. But Westbrook is going to, he just takes too much of a fucking pounding. Like, that's part of the knock. It's like, we both fuck with AI heavy. It's like, AI was only going to last X amount of time. He was getting the shit knocked out of him. He's like fucking 5'10". So, like, it's when does it stop? Does it stop? But that's, we'll get, actually I think I have one more basketball thing I wanted to talk about actually before we go off that. Oh, yeah. So, and I'm going to say this, and I'm excluding the 2 guys we just actually talked about. So, I was looking at a whole bunch of top 5, top 10 lists, obviously, like the Kobe retirement and shit, and everyone's reevaluating these lists and whatnot. So, excluding, because we just kind of talked about Kobe and Steph, I call them what the fuck niggas, which is like...
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's just, what do you do with certain guys when they go crazy, right? And obviously, Kobe would probably make number 1 on the list because, the nigga scored 81 in the game. What the fuck do you do with that?
Fuck do you do with Tracy McGrady when he scored 13 points in 30 seconds?
And we're going to get to T-Mac in a second. And I was thinking about it. Steph would also probably be my next number 1. Because especially when he broke out like 4 years ago, I didn't know what you did with him. Because he was pulling up.
He was dropping 56 in the Garden.
When he was pulling up from
much it was.
20 feet behind, like he was pulling up. He crossed half court and would shoot it before the cameraman was ready.
I already said, y'all. I was like, look, nigga, when a nigga, what the fuck? When you got to guard a nigga like pretty much from like 3/4 of the court, like,
you can't do it. Like, this shit is ridiculous.
So like my favorite shot of Steph Curry's is when he hit that game when on the Thunder when he pulled up from the fucking hash mark and he was and he pulled that shit and it was still like he still had time to get like to the 3-point line and he said fuck that.
Yeah, no, he would be, and it's why I wanted to exclude him because I kind of I want it to be more of like a debate type of thing, but I don't know if I don't think I can legitimately debate Kobe or Steph not being like the most what the fuck niggas I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know what you do with them. So it's
And
I'm
honestly,
also
I don't even. Well, I guess we would have to talk about who else is on the list to kind of see
yeah.
who there would be to debate.
I'm also going to for this because, like I said, so and what I mean by like a what the fuck nigga for people listening is it's like the dude's like, what do you do with them, right? Like if there's
If he on and he hot, how can you stop him?
yeah. I'm also going to I'm not including Shaq. Because Shaq only has one argument for being a what the fuck dude, which is he's just too big. Like, what the fuck do you do with him? But that's not really like a conversation. That's just literally, he's just too big. So, excluding Shaq, excluding Steph, and excluding Kobe, who would you want to throw in this list? And don't even have to be numbered. Just name the niggas basically.
Let's think. Who else we got? Who else we got that could be on this list? I mean, obviously we got a couple of guys in today's league. You got guys like KD. You got
KD's definitely a what the fuck nigga. Do we think Dirk's a what the fuck nigga when he's hot or in his prime?
In his prime, yeah. In his prime, definitely. Definitely, because he ain't got to be hot to be a what the fuck. What the fuck do you do when you 7'2" and you get a fadeaway jump shot that's over your head? Like, what the fuck do you do? Like, anytime.
Yeah. Like I kind of he's probably like my only height guy. Like you said, like just because you tall. Like I didn't want to put Yao on the list necessarily because it's like yeah he's just 7'6". Like what the fuck do you do with that? But it's not really. I just feel like you can't have like a conversation when it's just simply because like you're just so tall or so big, right?
Yeah, no, I feel like
Dirk's the only exception because he shot his ass off.
I feel like a few years ago, I feel like Melo was definitely one of those guys.
Oh, 100%.
I was like that season when everybody was dropping 60. Him and LeBron dropped 60 in the same week.
Do we consider LeBron one?
You kind of got to. Just off the strength of like if he's on and that jump shot is falling, like they can't do shit with him when his jump shot ain't falling and he just driving to the lane. So it's like if his jump shot is falling, then it's really like, all right, what's the plan, coach?
What I would say, yeah, it's so my only argument with LeBron.
And it's like,
go ahead.
No, I want to hear what you gonna say.
My only argument with LeBron, the reason why I don't have him, I think he should be, but I think he's a lot like Shaq. I just think, like, if he wasn't his height and size, like, I don't think he gets off. Like, it's just, because there's literally no one built
so
like
are we talking like, because I'm saying when we talk about, like, what the fuck, like, these what the fuck niggas, we talking about niggas that, like, when they get hot, what do you do?
Yeah, I guess.
Like, I feel like for a big man, this whole getting hot thing is kind of different. Like, a nigga like Shaq getting hot is kind of different from like LeBron getting hot. Cause Shaq getting hot is because he get like 5 dunks in a row.
That's my thing. It's like I want it to be more like skill based, I guess. Which I will say, LeBron probably should be on this because when he's had his couple of games, like I remember, it had been like 6-7 years ago now. It was a Friday night in Milwaukee, and I swear I thought he was Jesus. I mean, he was doing that night in Milwaukee. He was doing Steph shit. Like he was pulling up from like barely past half court and just draining it. Like he dropped 50 that night in Milwaukee and he had like 7 threes. Like what he was doing that night, I was like, oh, it's unfair. Like it's a wrap. It's like he should be on that list. I probably am just a LeBron hater a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
And you know, I ain't a LeBron fan, but I'm giving him some props and shit.
Yeah, it's like
who else do we got? Like I think like some of the some of the slept on niggas. I think we talked about this like in the past. Like J.R. Smith in his past years, it was like one of the niggas where if J.R. Smith was to ever get cooking, J.R. Smith might have been the best nigga in the NBA.
I would 100%. I'm so
like
sad.
Like those nights when we would be talking and shit, and like J.R. Smith would have himself like a 40-point game. It was like nigga, like J.R. Smith. when J.R. Smith would have those type of nights, it's like, nigga, J.R. Smith was like the best player in the league.
When JR was on, I remember we used to joke about this. Like literally, JR was Kobe. He was Kobe without the work ethic. Like he was that crazy talented. Which is why a side note on JR real quick. When I was talking to one of the kids and they were talking about JR's like, and they know JR Smith as just like this role player, stand in the corner, shoot threes, and I'm like, y'all niggas don't know nothing. JR was that dude for like a good 6-year stretch. He was the most dangerous player in the game. Because George Karl didn't know if he was going to go 0 for 20. Or if he was
didn't know if he was going to go 0 for 20 or fucking 10 for 10.
Like, and he was so crazy to me. Like, because he could shoot you out of a game or he could shoot you in it. Like, he was...
And then this was like prime JR when his jumping was still ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. He rest in peace, Gary Neal.
Jumping out the jump.
Rest in peace, Gary Neal. That nigga died.
Yeah, he caught a body that night. he caught a body that night.
But JR definitely is a what the fuck nigga. I'll say even like on a low key level, I think one of the hardest dudes to guard when he was in his prime was Manu.
I don't know. I knew that's what he was about to say because I was thinking I was thinking about it while we were talking about J.R. Smith.
Like I think,
but you got Manu low-key is like his style of play is what like birthed a lot of these other niggas like the Euro stepping and all of that shit. Like James Harden and Wade and all that, they got all that shit from him.
Yeah, James Harden is just the younger, more athletic Manu Ginobili.
I don't even think James Harden is like Manu without the team, without the Spurs.
Yeah, which is I don't want to get into that part. That's kind of a separate conversation. Do we consider James Harden a what the fuck nigga?
Gotta be.
Yeah.
I mean, even if he get a lot of shitty calls.
That man, he dropped, I don't know if you got the picture I sent, but it was him dropping 50 points in back-to-back games, being the first dude to do it since Kobe. Now, Kobe did it 4 times in a row, you know. Respect. But, like, when James Harden had and I'm saying this because it's kind of off recent memory, I'd have to go back and double check. The night he dropped, it was 54 points and 17 assists, and he missed 3 shots. I swear, like, I had to go back and check that stat line like 4 different times. I swear someone was lying to me. I was so, that is the epitome of, what do we do, coach? You want, zone defense, man defense, slash his tires, kick him in the nuts, like, what do we do? The man ain't gonna miss.
It's like kill him.
Literally, like,
yeah, he can jump him at halftime.
Like, that shit was
That's all
ridiculous.
you can do.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know if I've seen a better stat line.
Gilbert Arenas, what the fuck, nigga?
Oh, 100 Agent Zero was that dude. Holy shit! That's when the Wizards and this is another thing. A lot of like the kids I work with don't know. Like they don't realize how great of a rivalry that was with the Wizards and Cavaliers.
Yeah, Gilbert Arenas was on bullshit every time.
Like who was on that team? There was Gilbert, Caron Butler, and
Antoine Jamison.
Yeah. Yo, that used to be the squad. I used to fuck with the Wizards heavy back then. I just fucked with Agent Zero. I think everybody did.
I did. I definitely did.
Till the niggas started bringing guns and shit. Hey, he like the Gucci man of the NBA.
Who was that? Who was that he was beefing with? What? Who the fuck was that? I can't remember who it was he was beefing with. Like the nigga that caused him to bring the pistols.
Didn't they even, like, because it was a fucking, like, a utility guy that found him, wasn't it? Like, he was just going through shit? Because I think they found that shit, like, during the game.
Oh, them niggas was in the locker room about to shoot each other.
Yo, what the fuck?
like the nigga they were trying to figure out how he got the gun in the locker room.
Gilbert is that nigga, yo. Fuck, he's the ultimate what the fuck nigga. Like what? Like how you handle him? Yo, that shit is crazy. Shout out to Agent Zero. Shout out. Agent he was another one of the niggas who was doing shit. He was shooting deep ass threes before. It was cool.
Pretty much. Mind you, he create the shit Curry do when he shoot the ball and like turn his head and like walk away.
That was
That
it.
nigga, he did it. Gilbert did it first.
Is Vince Sanity or what the fuck, nigga?
You said Vince?
Yeah.
That's debatable. I mean, he can be.
I think I'm kind of torn.
I wouldn't fight for him to be there, but if he was, I wouldn't be mad.
I think the thing that actually looks bad is when him and T-Mac were on the same team, and it was like, I think you saw the difference. Now, Vince was more athletic, but I think you saw the talent difference up front, and like you just saw T-Mac was a better player, whereas I think Vince would be considered that if he was on a different team.
And I think T-Mac just made it look so much easier just because he always looked tired.
It's like, well, it's like when D Wade played with LeBron. It's like even though D Wade was still dope and he was still a great player, you saw LeBron was a better player, and so it's like, yeah, you still great, but you're not as great as him. But Vince was shooting that shit up too. Vince was shooting fucking 10 feet behind the fucking line shots.
Yeah,
like,
Vince, he was early on that wave.
And
He was early on that wave with a deep three.
Like Vince, that's my dude. He's probably one of my top 5 like all-time favorite players to watch. But I don't have that
DC?
list. Yeah, I don't have that list with me. But like, if I had to make it, he's probably making that list. Like he was just fun and exciting and shit to watch. Who else is a what the fuck dude? I'm trying to think. I know I'm missing someone. Trying to think like mid 2000s who was.
And I mean, because it's a lot of, we've had a lot of great players, but it's like a lot of players that, we might even consider great. I don't even know if I'm going to just consider them like a what the fuck guy just because they were a great player.
Oh, yeah, like, I don't consider, I'm about to sound real disrespectful. Well, Chris Paul's my favorite player, and I don't think he's a what the fuck nigga, like, at all. Like, there was no point in his career where I'm like, oh, yeah, Chris can just, like, even though he could literally do whatever he wanted on the basketball court, like, there was never... Well, part of it's the style. It's like, Chris was like this if you have, like, this luxury sports car that needs to fire on all cylinders, and if something goes wrong, like, it just gets fucked up. Whereas some dudes are just like, no, they just wake up and do this. Like, and just the style, and well, it's like with T-Mac, the style and way they go about it, like, it's just different. Who would be? Shit, I'm trying to think of like who was spazzing back then. Or even like currently, who would be? I think currently, what, Durant, Harden, LeBron.
Shit, you don't even have to say Klay Thompson.
I won't say Klay only because I'm gonna sound like a hater, and I fucks with Klay, but I won't say Klay because he only scores. I think he can score more than one way, but he primarily only scores one way, which is being the spot-up shooter. Now, is he a good-ass spot-up shooter? Absolutely. He's probably, I'll say he's just as good a spot-up shooter as Steph. It might even be better. You could argue that, no one would be mad. But with that, I've never seen, besides like the crazy-ass 60-point game with 13 dribbles, which that is kind of what the fuck. But the way he goes about it and gets his points, I won't put him on the same list as like T-Mac, and like some of these other guys. Like, to me, to be a what the fuck nigga, like, you have to be getting your own shot. Like, the ultimate definition, or not ultimate definition, but one of the easier ways for me to think about it is it's like, you get the ball inbounded to you, and niggas just know you gonna score.
Right, okay.
And it's like, and Clay's never been, Clay to me doesn't come off as that kind of player. Like when T-Mac was hot and he got the ball, he was just like, alright, niggas, like, you ready for the double team? Oh, he already shot it? Okay.
13 points in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that is still ridiculous. That is still fucking ridiculous. Is AI?
I had him in my mind, and I just didn't. I was like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I feel that way. Yeah. And AI is like, AI was one of my is like probably like one of my personal favorites of all time.
AI is like the cult hero of the NBA. I think he probably has a fan base that's. I mean, besides Mike, I don't know if he's there someone with a bigger fan base than AI.
True shit.
Like, but I don't know. Part of being a cult hero or like a cult classic album is it still kind of is like a niche thing. And so as much as we both fuck with AI and think like the world of him, I don't know if I could put him as a what the fuck nigga. I think it's crazy he did it at like the fucking NBA.com has him listed as 6 foot. Ain't a damn thing about him 6 feet tall. But that's another story. And then what was it? Who else would be that's currently? I would say. I think out of current guys, I think that's it. Like I think the only thing I would legitimately say is like Harden, Durant. I'd give it to Steph, but we excluded them. LeBron. I don't know if there's anybody else that I'm like that terrified of.
Ooh, I'm trying to think. I don't even. It ain't nobody.
like who's like Russ is dope, but Russ is. I said this in my podcast. Like Russ is a hustle player. Like he's just energy and hustle and crazy athleticism, but he's not. Yo, what the fuck do we do? Like he's just gonna kill us for 40 points today. Like,
Yeah, and I don't think it's too many today. Like I mean, you got guys in the league like Giannis and shit like that, but it's like Giannis can't shoot to save his life. So
yeah,
it's like you know what he's gonna do, you just can't stop it.
basically, like I will say he is a what the fuck. Cause I'm pretty sure I saw him take one dribble from the fucking three quarters of the court and make a dunk. Like that shit's inhuman. He also gets to travel, but you know that's we could talk about that.
Talking about travel, he looks like he was going cross country.
But it's even like you got like Kawhi's like the second or third best player in the league, and he's the complete opposite of a what the fuck nigga. Like I know exactly what Kawhi's gonna do. He's just so fucking good at it. Like
it seems we ain't really got that many. It don't seem like.
Yeah. So out of the people we put, who would you say would jump out to be your number one?
And this is not including like Steph and Kobe and them, right?
Yeah, we're excluding them.
T-Mac. Mine will be T-Mac easily. Like I don't even. I mean, it don't take for me. It don't take that much thought. Definitely going with T-Mac.
I'd agree. Could you imagine T-Mac currently on the Rockets?
If it wasn't for, you said what?
Could you imagine T-Mac currently on the Rockets?
Fuck him being on the Rockets currently. Can you imagine him not without those injuries? Like T-Mac would we would be talking about T-Mac as like probably one of the best ever if he would have stayed healthy. You know, even if he hadn't won rings, as far as just being one of the best individual, like one-on-one players the league has seen.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Because I mean, he as good as he was on the Kobe was putting pressure on niggas.
He was. How much time you got left in your game, by the way? Because I just finished my shit.
You said what, Chuck?
I said, how much time do you have left in your game? Because I just finished my shit.
It's almost over. I'm in the third quarter.
All right. What is it?
I had to pause for a minute.
Yeah. So the one guy I want to debate, but I'm not even sure like if I believe this debate, but I think it should at least be said. is I think James Harden's gonna make a really weird case, because like I said, there's shit he does and some of his stat lines, and I get it, it's kind of part of the system, but he throws up numbers that I'm like, yo, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. I feel like I would go with T-Mac above all of them as well. Like I said, just I also am a big believer in like moments, and 13 points in 10 seconds is ridiculous. Like, I just, like I said, like with Kobe, it's like you can't. People could say it's one game. I don't give a fuck. The nigga dropped 81 in a game. Like, you're not supposed to do that. Especially with the teammates he played with. But that's, I could rant about that forever. So it's like T-Mac has the moment, but James Harden, by the time it's all said and done, it might be like what do you do with him? He gets to the line whenever he wants. He can shoot threes as much as anybody. And now he's a good passer, I guess, if that's what we calling him. I think he's a high opportunity passer. I don't know if I'd call him a good passer, but because he has so many he has so many turnovers. I'm like, I don't know if I'd call him a good passer, which is why I love like Chris Paul is, at the pace he's going, would have the greatest assist to turnover ratio of all time. Which in that system, it's kind of what I thought he would do anyway, which is the big difference between like Steve Nash and James Harden, and the big difference between Harden and Chris Paul. Like Chris Paul in that system, I think could legitimately average 15 and 15 if James Harden wasn't the player he was. Like James Harden could just go back to just scoring, and Chris Paul could average 15 and 15 in that system. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, Giant. He like, I can't argue it. It's like I'm just not a fan of James Harden, so it's like, he's good enough to where I can't argue it, even if I don't want to agree with it.
he doesn't have the moment though, which is why like I'd say I put T-Mac 1 because T-Mac has the moment. Like James Harden has no moment where I'm like, yo, what the fuck did I just watch?
He ain't had like no real like, what the fuck moments.
Yeah. But he has what the fuck stat lines, which is why, like I said, I think he should be in the conversation. But as far as like memorable,
do you think with these crazy ass numbers that these guys are consistently putting up like in the NBA today, do you think these numbers are inflated, or do you think these players are that good?
Oh, it's 100% inflated. Oh, 100% inflated. I don't even question.
Well, and that's always my thing when it comes to like the numbers and shit like that.
It's like the fact of
because it's like as good as because it's like I feel like right now it's like so much easier for these guys getting these triple doubles and shit like that. Like it's crazy. It's like triple doubles are like regular now. Like do you remember how like crazy it used to be when a nigga would get a triple double?
That's why LeBron was crazy the first couple years. It was like, yo, he can act. It was insane that LeBron would get 5 or 6 triple doubles in a year. Like that was mind blowing. Like holy shit. And then you would literally there'd be like 9 or 10 a year, and LeBron would have 4 or 5 of them. And it was like, yo, that's crazy. But the reason why I say it's 100% inflated is because like if you look at, and it's not the only era. Like, if you look at Oscar Robertson when he was playing, and they were literally just getting up and down the court 20, 30 times more a game. Like, it was literally just pass, shoot, pass, shoot, pass, shoot. And so when you do that, there's just more rebounds. There's more shots to be had. Like, there's more passes and assists to be had. So it's I think the only team, and I'm saying this with an asterisk because I might be proven wrong, but I'm saying I don't think is inflated is the Warriors, because I don't feel like the Warriors actually play unnecessarily fast. I think they actually play their speed and tempo. Their speed and tempo is just faster than everybody else. But I think the Rockets play out their damn mind. I don't actually like the Rockets. I don't like that stuff. I think it's fun. I think it's cool to watch. But as far as like consistency, I don't think that style wins out, and I think they don't actually have the players to play that kind of style, even if they'll trick you by having the numbers. Which is why I used to love who actually plays better in the playoffs. I think that's a very telling stat, because when you are playing slower, you are playing more draw to play basketball. There's only like 5 guys in the league who actually play better in the playoffs than they do in the regular season. And I will say, because I think it should be well noted, Anthony Davis, even though it's only been one, plays better in the playoffs, and Chris Paul plays better in the playoffs. Just, throwing out some non-biased, maybe completely biased numbers. But it's like, so I think shooting is more emphasized. I'll say they're probably better shooters now than there ever was. But that'd be it. Then we're also going to kind of have a similar conversation with another group of people. But first, I want to get into another beautiful thing about Christmas is Lil Wayne dropped D6. And I've listened to it about 3 times. That shit is dope. I don't give a fuck what people say.
Definitely dope.
I saw people
I only got to hear it once. I haven't heard it other than that. But like I said, from that first listen, I was texting out fire emojis.
Like, it was.
My cousin sent me a text on Christmas Day said Lil Wayne blacking.
It was. I thought it was perfect, because now, is it going to go down as one of like his best mixtapes ever? No. But it was him like flexing on a tape.
That's the thing that I mean, it's like I don't even want to keep comparing it to like all the other shit, because it's like, even talking about like, even if we go back to talking about like the rappers and shit, I mean not rappers but the basketball players and shit like that, we didn't expect Kobe to drop 81 again.
No. Like, and it's what I thought it was perfect. It's because it was him. He's just the king of getting on other people's beats, and that's undeniable. Like, that's just he's going to die with that. It was good beats. It was like him flexing, and especially like the different flows he was using on that tape. I've also never heard on a consistent basis. I've never heard on a consistent basis Wayne switch up flows that much, nor rap that fast. Like, he was, like, some of it he was just snapping the fuck out on. And, like, D6 is dope. And if that's the last one, the Dedication series has to be considered an all-time great, even if 4 is complete and utter trash. I think it's 4, right? 4 is the skateboard?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is trash. 5 was cool. 6 is dope. And then 1 through 3 are all fantastic. Like, those are just fantastic tapes.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think honestly all the Wayne series I like. Even if you want to debate that, one of them might not have been good, I think as a whole all of them are like classics. All of the series in general.
Can we call No Ceilings a series with only 2 installments?
Yes.
Is it a classic series just off the strength of 1?
Yes.
Because 2 is we don't talk about 2. Which also, I wanted to say this because this is something that I thought was crazy. Is someone was talking about like the subject matter, right? And he was like, well, Wayne's never been a big subject matter dude, but now it's like he's literally talking about 2 things. And in my mind, and I think Wayne gets criticized for this, and I think it's unfair as fuck. Niggas don't realize Lil Wayne is like the youngest dude ever to have 20 years in the game. Like, Wayne was signed at, what, 13, 14?
Yeah, I think it was like don't know. Honestly, I don't know. It was either. I feel like it was either 11 or 15. Like one of those 2 years.
He was like, I know 11 is when he sent the thing to Cash Money. Like he just called them and freestyled. I think 13 was when he officially signed a record deal. Yeah, because at 14 he went platinum. Which is like, and he's 30, he's 33, about to turn 34. It's like he's 20 years in the game, and I don't think people realize like as much because they only see him like if you don't really follow his career, and obviously like you're not gonna think a 33-year-old is
Right,
like
doing something for 20 years.
yeah, like let me actually double check this real quick because this is actually kind of a crazy number. And because I'm going to get into a list of where like a certain type of classification, which I definitely stole from someone, but it's okay. Okay, Wayne's 35. So Wayne is 22 years in the game, right? People don't realize the quote unquote younger artist that he has on his label. Nicki's 35. Like, Drake's 31. They don't have half the career that Wayne has had. And I fucks with both of them. But it's like, we just, and I definitely shout on him. It's like, and I think I've come back a little bit. I won't say M's album is trash. I think it's less than okay with just no replay value. Because I do think he has some interesting concepts. And he can rap, like that's not gonna go away. So it's like I won't say it's trash. It's just less than okay. But and then obviously Hove dropped 444. Like those are the guys Wayne needs to be compared to. He's in that class. He's in 20 plus years. And so the fact he can still spaz out like this, 20 plus years, is insane. Fucking insane. And I think he has more. I think there was better rapping on D6 than there is on 444 or on Revival. And I fucks with 444. But I don't think I think 444. They're both content albums, like 444 and Revival. I just like the content on 444 more. But as far as just pure rapping for 20 plus years,
but I think the difference with it, like a content album versus mixtape is definitely gonna be completely different rapping on it because it's like a mixtape is almost like lyrical exercise for rappers, like just a way to kind of go out there and just put words together versus a concept album.
That's true, but also when you compare those two, the reason I use this comparison is because Wayne's the only one that does it. Like Hove doesn't have tapes. M doesn't have tapes. I mean, they do, but not like the way Wayne does. Where they were like, Wayne was still doing tapes with albums out. Like M and Hove stopped doing tapes after like their first projects were tapes, and then it was all albums after that. Like Nas only has one mixtape, and that's only because they wouldn't let him make it an album, which is a dope tape, by the way, the end tape. But so it's like. I can only compare just projects because they don't have mixtapes. They don't do them, which is fine. I'm not even trying to like diss on them for not having mixtapes, but it's the only way. Like Wayne's mixtapes, they're all complete projects for the most part. I don't know what the fuck he was smoking on D4, but I think that's my only like I will not listen to again Wayne project. Like
who had the best album this year, in your opinion? I don't know if you had that as a topic or if it was just something random, but I just wanted.
No, that's fair. I didn't have it as a topic, but best. Oh yeah, are we doing best or my favorite?
In your opinion, who had the best?
I'm gonna get killed for this. So
I say. I mean, honestly, if you say your favorite, that's who you feel like had the best. So I mean, shit, who had your favorite? What album was your favorite? Or what 3 albums? You don't even got to put them in order.
I think. Okay. I think the best one. I think Crit had the best one. I think Big Crit's album was dope as shit, and I think it's underrated as fuck. I think and now I'm gonna say this I did not, and I'm probably gonna kill for this. I did not listen to the Rhapsody album. Heard it was dope.
Shit.
Heard it was dope. Heard it was.
I fuck with that. I put my girl up on that.
It was. I heard it was all times a great. And I'm not dissing on her or nothing like that. Just saying I have not heard it. I know I should. So I can't put it in like my best or my favorite. Just didn't do it. So I think excluding that, I think Crit had the next best album. I mean, are we doing albums or projects? Actually, let me just. Can I put mixtapes in here, or are we just doing albums?
You put mixtapes in there.
Okay, the Bar Exam 4 might be. I have not actually stopped.
Well, I mean, I think we've spoken enough about Royce to you know how I feel about Royce.
And he's in my next topic too. But I have not stopped listening to the Bar Exam 4 since that shit dropped. Like that's my favorite project as far as like an album is not this obviously to say, but this Bar Exam 4 my favorite total project of the year. That shit is ridiculous. If you haven't heard the Bar Exam 4 and you want to get your head fucked up, go listen to it. Because you definitely gotta listen. No one can tell me they listen to like a Royce project or I'm gonna talk about later to like a Lupe project and tell me you only listen to it once and got everything. Like niggas don't think like that. I don't give a fuck. Like you have to listen to it 2 or 3 times just to kind of understand. Like, all right, I get what you were saying now. Like, my favorite album though was probably 444. I really, really liked 444.
I'm with you. The 444 was definitely my shit.
Like, and so
I think that was one of my favorite albums. I'm with you on putting the Bar Exam 4 in there since we are adding mixtapes. That was my shit. Crooked dropped that out. It's an album. Crooked dropped his album. That was real dope to me.
Good and
I like
Part
Ross's
2.
album. Rick Ross had a real good album.
Yes, I think Ross had the best album of the year for the first 6 months. I think until Hove dropped, I think that was the best album of the year. And I still be listening to it. My shit on that is that Maybach Music 5, which Ross always delivers on that shit. Also, shout out to Days Loaf, because I don't know why the fuck. I think she I don't feel like she gets credited. She can rap her ass off.
She dope. I like her style. I like her style. I like how she used the little auto-tone bullshit. She dope with that.
Like, so. But
she real dope.
The Maybach Music 5, the, what's the record with, him talking about Wayne and Khaled? Idols Become Rivals. Yeah, that's my shit.
The intro to that shit, Apple of My Eye.
That's dope.
That's my shit.
Yeah, like Ross had a dope album. I think it was also probably, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm kind of stealing this opinion because I haven't actually. I work with audio and stuff, but not on this level. That's probably like, I think sonically the best album of the year. I feel like the production on it was top tier. It sounded clean. The beats were dope. Like, besides just him rapping, I feel like a lot went into that album. What else? Yeah. And then, so speaking of Royce, because Royce is definitely on this list, and I'm still in this topic, and so when I was watching, and it was last week's episode, I think it was, when Joe was talking about aliens, niggas who just
he said name somebody that can out rap Royce.
Yeah, like, and
nobody.
he was talking about, like niggas who just do shit with words that niggas just can't, like other people just can't do, right? Like normal human beings cannot do. Like, and so it's kind of like the what the fuck version, like the what the fuck nigga version, but with rappers, right? Like,
right.
Nas and Hov are probably like my top 2 MCs all time as far as total package, but I don't consider either of them aliens. I feel like what they do, other people could do, they just do it better.
So if we talking about the aliens of rap, I know we probably got a couple of the same guys, I'll say. Royce is definitely going in there.
100%.
Andre 3000 is definitely
100%.
going in there. Eminem is definitely going in there.
100%. Joe said Big Boy. Do you agree with that?
I think Big Boy. I can agree with that, Jeff, because I was a big fan of Outkast. Big Boy, and I'm a fan of Big Boy, like his solo shit too. So it's like, I think Big Boy just got outshined. Like, but I mean, I feel like when it ain't too, like, if you actually listen to him, like if you listen to like a solo project of Big Boy, and like actually pay, like when it's just him and you're not listening to this other alien ass nigga, like, it's like you'll be questioning, like, damn, is it really it ain't really too many niggas that can rap with Big Boy.
I think that's the thing.
I think he just got, I think with Andre 3000, and that's just like, I feel like that's like what the niggas saying that Kobe got carried.
Yeah.
Like it's like when you in a group with somebody that's just that unique, it's different.
That's fair. Like, I don't have an issue with Big Boy being considered an alien because, like,
I mean, but I think I mean, I think it'd be hard to put him in there because a lot of people might not be familiar with him as an individual.
That's
I think
also
that
true.
you know his most popular, like he's mostly popular from Outkast, so from being in the group with the alien.
Yeah. Andre's absurd.
So I mean, it's understandable.
Andre was gonna be like, when I was thinking about this list, Andre was 100% gonna be my number one. That's oh, that's what I like.
Lupe is another one that's like when you talk about bar for bar, could possibly be the greatest rapper ever. if you're talking to niggas that know what they talking about.
Yo, Lupe absolutely is my number one right now. And like I said, I'm kind of on a hype train. Like I was downloading a whole bunch of music the other day, and like I got a file with like 24 gigs of music on my computer and put that shit on my phone, and I got all Lupe shit. Lupe might be, I don't know what the fuck you do with him. And he has, I think the difference between him and everybody else that I have on this list is he's the only one that, like, he has distinctly different content. Where I think a lot of them, well, M does too, but Lupe has distinctly different content because he's never
talk about killing his parents and shit.
Well, it's like, I mean, shit, Lupe. One of my favorite Lupe songs is Lamborghini Angels, which is off that the Food and Liquor 2, which that's borderline a classic. It's definitely it's a classic.
I'm going with both of them bitches as classics.
I think they fall into cult classic status, but they're personal classics for me for damn sure. But Lamborghini Angels, the third verse, and it's absurd, like the wordplay he uses on this verse, but he's literally talking about a pastor putting a child on the bed and taking his pants off, like, and nobody else gets away with that, like, and he has lines where he does like the nerdy shit, like he be talking about like Dragon Ball Z and anime and shit, and it's like he has distinctly different content, whereas Royce just flips words and does crazy shit with those words.
Royce is like Royce might be one of the best word flippers ever. Like, it's probably just
like it's crazy, but it's like I think that
Joe had a line where he said he flipped words like he practiced yoga. Royce definitely flip words.
Yeah, and it's like
shit. Royce had a line where he was like I'm gonna never tell you I'm the only one that's ever out rapped him on the track or some shit like that.
Yeah,
that's a fact.
Gosh, one of my favorite lines was it's off 3. He's like, something pop a bitch, I'll pull my gun and pull it like Stojakovic. And in my head, I remember hearing that shit, and I was on the way to work, and that shit woke me up. And I drink bad coffee, and I remember just hearing that, and I'm like, nigga, the fuck did I just hear?
The coffee ain't wake you up. His bars did.
Hell yeah, I was like, hold on. I know he just think he's Stojakovic in the line. Like, hey, like, shout out to Paige. But nigga, what did you just say to me? And that to me is like what defines, as far as I'm concerned, like when like someone says some shit where like it catches my attention. Because I can listen to a lot of songs, and like only certain lines will kind of stand out, or I can actually like be like, oh, I don't know what the hell he said the last 6 bars. Like with these niggas, like I don't have to be paying attention, and they will just say some shit that I'm like, yo, nigga, the fuck did I just hear?
Like, You got niggas that say shit to where you like, how did they come up with that?
And like
Who else we got on that list though?
so I struggled with this one, and I think whereas I think most of these guys are aliens because of like the wordplay and how they use the words. The only guy, and this just because he's my personal favorite, is like I want to put Wayne in an alien category, but it's conceptually, it's not word wise. Because there's like the things he says, it's not necessarily like the most skillfully worded like a bunch of these other niggas is. But when you think of like the concept and content behind it, it's like, yo, what? How?
Different.
And it's like, and Wayne and Hope both fucked a bunch of niggas up because they came out and said, "Oh, I don't write my shit down, I freestyle." And let me be very clear, a lot of y'all niggas need to start writing shit down. You're not Wayne, you're not Hope.
I shit you not. I'll probably like. It's like a ridiculous amount of niggas these days talking about how they don't write shit. Like, well, you need to.
Like Kendrick said, and Kendrick can rap his ass off. Kendrick says there's normally like one song or project. He just tries to get in like a mood and a vibe and shit, and he don't even smoke or drink anymore. He says he'll just go in the studio, listen to sounds, and he will try to like vibe out a song. And he says that shit is hard as hell. And like Wayne has projects where he don't write, and Hove has projects he don't write. So it's like they're, like I said, Wayne, I don't think he's necessarily the wordsmith that some of these guys are, but conceptually he's an alien as far as I'm concerned. Do we think Crooked is?
I think so. I think Crooked is like. I think Crooked is, he's crazy. I think he's one of those ones. He's crazy with words.
Do we think Joel is?
No. As much as I like Joel, like I don't not an alien. Like he's crazy with the words and shit. I don't think I'm calling him an alien though.
I think with him and Joe, it actually hurts them that they have, I think, probably the best content at a slaughterhouse.
Now that I will say. That's why me personally. I mean, but then we know Joe, my guy.
That's what I'm saying. Like
to me, Joe probably has the better content out of all of them.
Yeah, but I think that hurts him because when you have content and like you're rapping to a concept, you can't necessarily use all the words and different word plays and ideas that you want to use.
Well, but I think, I mean, honestly, like I think Joe spoke on it before, like being in that group or whatever. He went through, because Joe ain't never been that. He ain't never really been his style. Joe has always been like one of those guys that were like more personal with the rap, or more content based. And he said he went through a period where I think it was on that Slaughterhouse song. He said I used to try to rhyme like y'all, because he would try, he would go in and do the metaphors and shit like that, and it just wasn't. I think, but to me that was always the dopest part about the group, is that none of them, all of their styles were different.
Oh, 100%.
Like even with Crooked and Royce both being like ridiculous with the words, it was like they like, to me those two didn't even, the way that they did it was completely different.
Yeah. I was really glad that Joe put Los on that list, and Los is probably
I'm a fan of Los.
He's probably the most.
I used to sit and watch them videos of him just out freestyling. Like when he was on the train and shit like that, like, or just in random ass spots freestyling, just like going fucking crazy for like 10 minutes.
Have you seen his Sway interviews?
I've seen a couple. I may or may not have seen all of them. I don't know how many he had for me to say I've seen them all.
He has 2 Sway freestyles, and we ain't gonna play them on here because YouTube gonna kick our shit off. The 2 Sway freestyles that King Los does, and I'm gonna say this confidently, they are the 2 best freestyles to ever be on Sway. And the first one is like next level ridiculous. The first one I had to listen to like 3 times, and I still was kind of looking at my computer like, nigga, the fuck did you do? How? What? Like, I was so, like, that shit was legitimate. The first freestyle was legitimately like mind blowing. Like, I had never heard a better freestyle, and Los is by far. Gosh, I don't want to see. I hate saying this because then it's like I hate saying someone's like the best freestyler because then I'm like, I feel like given the time and the right situation, any of these niggas could spaz the fuck out, and I'd be like, yo, he's the best. But out of freestyles that are currently out in existence, Los has the best freestyle catalog out of anybody. And he got dope mixtapes. Zero Gravity 2, Becoming the King, and then he just dropped Go. Los's mixtapes go hard. I think he will also struggle the same way that Royce does, whereas his albums, because he tries to put more concept than just spazzing the fuck out, his album to me was okay. But his mixtapes and his freestyles are, he's 100% an alien, and he is, and what's dope about him is he's the youngest. Like, I think he's only like 23. So he is in a very good position. Do we think any mainstream nigga's an alien?
I mean, Kendrick will be the closest thing.
And I don't even think he is. Like, I don't
think he is either. But if we would have to pick any of these mainstream niggas, I think he would be the closest one.
Do you think an alien nigga could be, well, excluding Eminem, because I think he has just different circumstances. Do you think a mainstream nigga could ever be, like, do you think someone could ever be mainstream by being an alien?
Andre, if he wanted to.
But do we think the things that he popped with were him being an alien? Or do we think it was just the song kind of took over? Because I even know, like, with Lupe's songs, like, Lupe's biggest hits are, like, Battle Scars, The Show Goes On, Show Must Go On, and those aren't really him, like...
Right, him rapping, yeah.
It's not him, yeah. So in my mind, I'm like... And with Andre, like, obviously, like, Hey Ya, Miss Jackson are, like, those are going to be the top 2 songs forever from Outkast, as far as, like, social appeal and shit. But it's like, those aren't him spazzing the fuck out the way he can. I think one of the dopest Andre verses I've ever heard, and it's that whole song is dope. But the
Hollywood,
no, Kesha's song. It's Kesha. Kesha has a song. I'm about to Google this right now, and I don't know if you haven't heard it, yo, this shit is ridiculous because it's Kesha, T.I., Wayne, and what is it? Yeah, it's Kesha, T.I., Wayne, and Andre, and you could tell. Kesha's manager, or whoever the hell's in charge of that shit, definitely let all of them niggas know, hey, these 2 are on the song, go for it. And all 3 of them spazzed the fuck out. All 3 of them spazzed the fuck out. And they all legends, so it's like, it shouldn't be like a surprise, but the only thing is, you could definitely tell, which is why, like I say, I struggle with Wayne being an alien, because even though, like, Tip went off, he spazzed, and his verse was dope. Wayne went even harder than Tip, and they ended that shit with 3 stacks, and nigga, it wasn't fair. It was.
Well,
not.
that's like it was funny because, you know, the Jeezy song that Cole and Kendrick was on, and, you know, everybody was saying how Cole killed it or whatever. They were like, Cole rapping like he knew Kendrick was on it, and I was telling my girl after we listened to it, I was like, shit. I was like, Kendrick must have heard Cole verse and decided he was going to do that little singing bullshit he did on it. he heard Cole spit that shit, and he was like, yeah, you know what? I ain't going to rap on this shit. I'm going to give y'all some little melody bullshit.
Okay, there you go. So, yeah, no, it's the Sleazy remix. It's actually Kesha, T.I., Wayne, 3 stacks, and Wiz. And Wiz is out of place as fuck. I think Wiz... I think they probably told Wiz the other 3 were on the song, and I think he was like, all right, cool. Here's my 16, I'm gonna just go chill by myself. Because Wiz's verse ain't... That's actually one of the things I want to talk about. If you were a rapper, would you even want someone like that on your song?
Somebody like what?
Would you, if you was putting out an album and they was like, all right, nigga, you got 4 features you can use, right? So 4 people, whatever 4 people you want to work with. Would you put a nigga like Andre, Royce, Lupe on your song? You would?
Definitely. If I consider myself to be a real rapper, like a real wordsmith and a real lyricist, definitely.
Do you think if you are all right, let's say this then. So if you're Kendrick, are you putting one of them on your album?
Just one, or like that full feature, like
Well, you just you
One
get
of them,
any,
yes.
yeah, you get any alien to choose from.
One of them, I would, yeah. I wouldn't do like if I was a nigga like Kendrick. If I was a nigga like Kendrick, I probably wouldn't put all of them. And I say a nigga like Kendrick is because as great as Kendrick is, Kendrick has shown has had like, I mean, recently, at least to me, it seemed like Kendrick is like cockier than usual, than normal and shit about being, you know, as good as he is. Which, you know, of course, it ain't never a problem with that. But
If
you don't want to be that cocky and get washed.
that's no, that's well, that's what fucked Nicki up. Nicki tried to go back with Remy with No Frauds, and it was like when she had the line like we don't make diss songs, we just make hit songs to diss you. That's dope. If like Drake pulled it
If the
off
song
back
is
to
a hit.
back, yeah,
If the song is a hit, the song that song came and went.
yeah, like, and I fucks with No Frauds, but it's not even because of Nicki part, but like that shit missed completely. Um, if you're Drake, do you put one of them on a song?
Yes, because Drake has definitely put all of them on a song. Drake has a song with all of them.
With Royce?
Oh no, not Royce, but
I know he's
he
got
just had 3 Stacks, Eminem.
he's got the Kick Push remix with Lupe, which Drake gets off on that. And that's like
Yeah, so I mean,
comeback
it's
season,
like
Drake.
I think he's put enough of them on there to say so, and I mean, it's kind of different because even with Drake as good of a rapper as Drake is like Drake is a hit maker.
He is. That's a fact.
He is a hit. He is a hit. But like, and that's the thing. Even with like people saying like that ghostwriting shit take away from him as an MC. I don't think like he's a hit maker. Like
I still think he's
he
a
can
dope
put out.
MC too. I don't even give a fuck what the ghostwriting.
No, I think he. I mean, I think he dope, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was ever a point to where Drake was gonna go down as like the dopest like lyricist ever, or dopest MC ever.
Yeah, nah.
He could still go down as he's still gonna go down as one of the best artists of all time and shit like that.
He ran hip hop for a while. Like that's an undeniable.
Run.
Yeah, when you have that kind of run, you are undeniable. Like even though niggas don't fuck with Ye like that, like you can't deny Kanye his run, his catalog, his career. Like you can't take that away from him. If you are trying to see how low tier we can go here, if you're someone like Wiz, would you put one of them niggas on a song?
No.
You think
If
Wiz
I'm
would
somebody
get?
like J. Cole, I will put the niggas on the song. And if I'm somebody like Wale, I'm putting the niggas.
I think Wale would be dope with them. Wale would be dope. Also, shout out to, and Royce made me realize this, and because he's got a line, I don't remember what song it is, but he's talking about Cole went platinum without any features, and so did Kevin Gates. But like nobody talks about Kevin. Oh, my man left the party. We'll get him back in here. But yeah, and I thought it was dope. And Royce was talking about being a fan of both. And it's like a lot of people just say you can't, like, if you like one style of rap, like if you like really lyrical niggas, then you can't like mumble rappers, you can't like street shit. When, you know, the complete opposite is true. Like you can like a whole different type of music. You know, it's it's like liking different types of women. You can like a whole lot of different types of women. Maybe you shouldn't like them all at the same time, you know. But hey, you can do it. Let's see if we can get him back in this party here real quick.
We back, yo.
We back.
Did it kick you out the stream or not?
Nah, I'm still good.
Okay.
My shit is strong right now, yeah. And because the one thing I got on my shit is like my PlayStation, my laptop, and my computer's hardwired, and my phone. So I'm like, I don't even have a whole bunch of stuff on it, so the internet is good as shit right now. But no, I was just talking about, and I'll repeat it real quick. Royce was dope because he had a line. I don't remember what song it was, but he was comparing. Just so people don't think we're total haters. J. Cole went platinum without any features and was like celebrated, and he's like, "Yo, so did Kevin Gates," and like no one gave a fuck when Kevin Gates did it. And he was just comparing. You know, you can like two different styles of music and they both have different successes. So it's like even though me and you, we probably we like more of the alien super lyricist guys, Whereas I think, shout out to PVG, I think PVG's more in tune with like the turn up and the current age. Um,
And it's like, and it's almost crazy because he's like, I mean, and he got a good. He's probably like one of those people that like both.
yeah, no, well,
But
I like
I
both.
definitely feel like, well, no, you like both, but I feel like he got a better grasp on it than probably me and you.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I like a lot. Well, like I ain't gonna even say I might not even be like the hugest fan of like all of the turn up bullshit. Like, but that's like, I mean, I'm from Chicago, so it's like I like a lot of the
Drill.
Chicago drill music, the Chicago
Yeah.
street music and shit like that. And he's big into that because he would always text me asking me questions about like certain rappers from Chicago and shit like that.
Yeah, nah, he's
So it's like I think, like I mean, I think it's dope to kind of like a little bit of everything.
100%. And Kevin Gates, free my man. Kevin's one.
Oh,
Kevin
yeah,
would probably make one of my like top 10 favorite. Like I listen to his shit as much as anybody else. Like Kevin is dope.
he on one of my personal favorite lists too though. Like I listen to Gates,
Luco Brasi,
Luca
uh,
Brasi.
and he's probably got like one of the bigger niche fan bases.
Yeah, he got like a core fan base.
Yeah, like his shit is dope. What else we got here? I got a bunch of stuff. It's crazy when we take 2 weeks off.
And you start realizing how much shit that we got to talk about, and that we can talk about.
Do we need it? And like, gosh, I hate even like. Hey, I actually know what's dope now. Because it happened since our last stream. We can officially say fuck Complex because Joe ain't even on that shit no more.
Nigga, how look? Hey, look, man. Fuck them niggas. They did my boy dirty.
They definitely did.
Either they did him dirty or he did them dirty, but somebody got done up.
Nah, it was whack.
No, yeah, definitely. Them niggas is wild. Like, and if you see like just the drop off of numbers since he's been gone, it's even more ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that's like people, and I've always said like it's just a fact. People care about people, not brands. It's like who's the fucking progressive bitch that does all the commercials?
Yeah, the LaFlo bitch.
Yeah, if she was gone, progressive numbers gonna drop. People like her
It's
and
one
like
of them
those
things, though,
commercials.
it's just like fucking. It's like It's like working a regular job when they say like you know the reason. You know, people stick around certain jobs for certain reasons and shit. It ain't because they just love the company or whatever. Like the fans stick around for a certain reason. Like if you see these fucking comments under this everyday struggle shit, everybody's saying no Joe, no show.
Yeah,
But
100%.
it's like it's one of them things where just like a job, they always say like employees leave managers, not companies, because the managers are the people you working with directly. The managers are the people that kind of keep you there. Like, you know, it's like one of them things to where like the fans doesn't really give a fuck about Complex. They only stay because the people that they, you know, somebody that they like. If you fuck with a manager, you'll stick around at a job longer, even if you kind of iffy about it, or you know, you might not care too much for it because you fuck with the people you know you there for.
100%.
It's like shit. Y'all. I mean, if y'all didn't know it before, y'all know it now.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things, and Gabe, he actually spoke on this. I don't want to take full credit for it, but it was something like I had already kind of like thought of, but he put it in a better way than I could. Is a lot of people like, so Steve Jobs, right, with Apple, like Steve Jobs became this huge name, became a billionaire, iPhones, all this shit was considered a genius, but Apple always had such a huge turnover rate because nobody wanted to work with Steve Jobs. Like he was an asshole. He was tough to work for. He was a hard ass. He was all that shit. And like the way when I'm a manager in my position, anyone is an assistant manager, is I always try to be like, I never wanted to be that guy because I don't feel like, because Steve Jobs kind of got like fantasized. It's like, oh, he must be the best boss in the world because he gets all these results. I'm like, you don't have to be a dick to get results. There's sometimes you have to be a little more tough and say things just because, you know, someone's just slacking off or not doing their job. But the whole like you have to be this asshole, and it shows because Complex was being the asshole, and now that Joe gone, they getting the results. Like and Joe's podcast numbers have gone up.
Yeah, the Millie.
Amen.
The funniest shit is like the couple of videos. I don't subscribe from them bitches, so it is what it is. But the funny thing is like the couple of videos I went to after Joe left, I was looking at that. Like the comments were funny. They're like, ain't nobody watching this shit without Joe, and all you see going down is hashtag no Joe, no show.
Yeah. Like, which all y'all niggas that unsubscribe from Complex, I got a channel you can go subscribe to. Hardfoul Podcast. Just go take yourself to the other side of YouTube.
Yeah, if y'all gonna watch that shit without Joe, y'all might as well come listen to us talk.
Pretty much. Which I want this Joe Charlemagne shit. I don't know if it's just a year in review. I want this to be an actual show. I don't give a fuck.
No, they said, it's just a year in review, but they definitely, the way that they were talking that thing, they were saying, oh, we'll be back next year and shit like that. So it at least sound like something that we'll get on a consistent basis, and they might be doing a lot more together just off the strength of them Charlemagne also being a part of Revolt, and the Breakfast Club being part of Revolt.
Like, get them niggas once a week together. Like, that's all I need.
I don't even know if they could deal with each other once a week. And it's only funny because it's like they always, like, everybody try to make it seem like they beefing and shit, even though Charlemagne take a lot of side shots at Joe and shit. Because, like, even with the interview with Kevin Hart and shit, when he, like, it seemed like every chance Charlemagne get, he mentioned, like, Joe was accused of beating women and shit like that. Joe spoke on that Kevin Hart shit on his podcast too, because Kevin Hart was bitching about Joe and Michael Blackson talking about his situation and shit.
Yeah. Do you think it's this is kind of like a side note. So they've released the top 3 highest paid musicians this year, and it's been a dope year for hip hop, despite what Joe says. Excuse me. So the top 3 earners are all hip hop earners, right? Which is another first that's never happened before. Like I said, in March, I believe it was, maybe April, hip hop became like the #1 most streamed or listened to genre. And it's been a really dope year, right? We got Kendrick this year, Drake, J. Cole, Ross, whole bunch of good shit. Jay-Z, like it was just even though his album was whack. I'm sorry, not whack. It was less than okay.
Was not up to par.
Yeah, there we go. I did like the Bad Husband song, at least the concept of it. I like the concept of a bunch of them. Anyway, though, so they released top 3 highest paid musicians, and I was kind of tripping on it because I didn't like the list, only because, so Diddy was #1. Do we consider Diddy a musician?
Do we consider Khaled a musician?
Yes.
Then yes.
Well, okay. There's a difference.
Diddy was the first nigga in everybody video dancing, and he actually had a ghostwriter. he was the first nigga in the videos dancing, and he actually had ghostwriters.
Well, but Khaled actually dropped an album, and Khaled actually like Khaled's put in work. Not to say Diddy hasn't put in work, but Diddy's work isn't in music anymore. Like, did Diddy even drop a song this year?
Probably not.
Like, and I'm not, no, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that as like, oh, yo, we need Diddy music.
Yeah, what, you waiting on that Diddy pie? You waiting on Diddy. The streets waiting on Diddy.
Oh, Brother Love, my bad, he's not Diddy no more. Like, but it's, shit, fucking, but Diddy was #1, Beyonce was #2. I think she had features. I don't think she dropped like her own personal song or project this year. Cause
Lemonade wasn't this year?
Nah, that was last year.
Oh, okay. I don't know, my girl played it so much it ain't no telling.
Like, So Beyonce really didn't do much musically. Like I know she had a couple features, and like she was featured on Khaled's album. She was featured obviously on M's album. I think she
And
has a
she's
couple.
on Jay-Z album.
She is on Jay's album. Um, Gosh, I didn't know what was better. When Big Sean was dating Ariana Grande, he literally put her on a song where he was talking about fucking with different hoes. And then Jay got to say he was cheating on Beyonce and put her on the album. I don't know what's more of like a pimp thug ass move. Like, that shit. But then Drake was number 3, right? As far as like top earners. Do you think it looks bad when you have someone like Diddy or Brother Love, whatever the fuck you want to go by nowadays?
It ain't he Diddy.
Like, do you think it looks bad though when it's like you have someone who put out no music, wasn't musically relevant? You have another person who didn't drop an album, simply was obviously like the brand that is Beyonce is always going to be huge, and it should be. She deserves it. But she didn't do a whole lot musically. And then,
See, but I mean, it would depend on. It would also depend like what these people touring, even if they don't drop music or something like that. Did they go on tour for something or?
Now Beyonce didn't know.
Because it's like if they, I mean, because Beyonce that when they dropped last year, Beyonce. I mean, I don't know if Beyonce went on any tour or anything.
I think her tour, if I read correctly, and I could be wrong. I'm not a hardcore Beyonce follower as far as musically, or really just any part about her, to be quite honest. Respect though. That's
You said you just what?
I said I'm not like no hardcore Beyonce follower, but respect though. That's the queen. Like I think her tour ended early in the year, and then she's been home since then. Because I know they've been they've been really big as far as like trying to promote family time and shit. Cause especially because Blue is in like 1st grade now or 2nd grade, some shit like that. She's like 6 or 7. So they've been trying to be at home more, which is why even Hope's tour is really weird. So I think Hope's tour is split into like 2 parts. So it's like he's gonna come back home for a while, be with the family, then leave again. Something like that. And I'm saying, like I said, I was reading the article and I was kind of skimming through it, so I could be wrong on some of these, but this is just kind of like the general idea. But yeah, it's more so like, do you think it looks bad to have 2 non-musically active people top that leaderboard?
No, I think just because they, to me though, I don't even know, because I don't even think we could say, if you want to call Puff, like if you want to say he's not musically active, then okay, but like if Beyonce just dropped the album last year and then toured last year and just had babies and shit, I don't know if we can really say that she's not active because she just dropped the album last year. Like, and most artists drop like every other year.
Correct.
So it's like I feel like a year off of an album, we can't really say that she's not musically active. As far as Puff, I don't know what he's been doing as far as music. All I know he talked about is black excellence, so we don't support Puff.
That's fair. Do you think it matters though based on the people? Because like consistently, the guys that have always been in the top 10 earner category, like there's 4 of them, and like Puff's always been there, 50's always been there, Dre's always been there, and the 5-star general himself. That nigga's always been there.
What happened to that boy?
So the stunner 5-star general, he's always been on that list. And I've always thought it's been like a weird look, not necessarily a bad one, but to have, I just don't like seeing Birdman's face. So like seeing him on any list is kind of like get him off. But to have Birdman, 50, Dre, and Puff, where besides 50, none of them was doing their own personal music, and then let me put it better. None of them were artists besides 50, right? Like Dre obviously is a legend for a whole bunch of reasons. Diddy was, Ciroc, making a whole bunch of business moves, and then 50 was on there because of Vitamin Water, but still doing music. And who am I forgetting? Oh yeah, Birdman for because he kept every dime everybody ever made. Not that I'm bitter or nothing about it, free card of 5. Um, but like, I don't know. I always felt like it was kind of weird because then you would see like the other people down the list that weren't hip hop affiliated, and it was like Taylor Swift would always be up on that list. Fuck her, but she is an artist. Who else is always on that list? Who's the nigga that does Maroon 5?
I have no idea. You're asking the wrong nigga.
He's
HPVG. He might know.
He's like on The Voice now and shit. Like he's always on TV. Adam. What's that nigga last name?
Levine.
Yeah. Like he would always be on that list. There's like the other people that'd be on the list that were like they were on there because of like music sales and shit like that. And so like obviously Drake's on there because of music sales and streams and shit. Drake got old enough. I made the case to someone, it's for even the people that don't like Drake. I'm like, if you support hip hop, you should have to support Drake, because if you want hip hop to be in the place of like it can the way it is now, where it can be the #1 genre, you do need a superstar or two. And all of rap's other superstars are older, out of their prime. Yes, they still make they still make buzz when they move. Like Hove and M still make buzz when they move. But Drake is the only one that you can still say is in prime. He's a poster boy for the culture, or at least poster boy for rap. And like, you need that. The same way, country might not really like it that much anymore, but country loved the shit out of Taylor Swift when she first dropped. It was an artist who's going to do these huge numbers and look good for your genre. Plus, especially as far as moving into the mainstream, it's like, not that it should be the reason, but it's like, nobody was really like 50 was a scary nigga to look at. Like, that wasn't the person you take to the Grammys and be like, yo, this is our poster boy. Ye was flipping the fuck out every 5 seconds. Jay is just ugly as shit. Like, Wayne wasn't exactly, Mr. like suit up in a tie and shit, look nice. Kendrick and Cole look bummier every fucking day. So like, Drake is a good poster boy for hip hop and rap. How much time you got left in your game?
Alright, it's over. You can advance.
Okay. Like, I was like, who do we think, or actually not who do we think, do you think Cardi's here to stay? Or do you think she just had a dope year?
We'll see. Because she got an album dropping. She ain't even dropped the album this year. So she got an album dropping the beginning of the year. And I mean, now that's like another question that they talked about. I know they talked about before, where they were asking how long is longevity, what's considered longevity.
Yeah. What do you think is longevity?
What did you advance it already?
Yeah.
Okay. What's longevity? How many years do I think? Because I mean, I feel like it's definitely different from like back then. Because that's like even some of the guys where we would say they probably weren't like at the top, for a long time. They were definitely consistently in the game.
Hold on 1 second.
I feel like today.
Alright, I'm back.
I'm saying, I mean, I really want to say 5 years, but I feel like 5 years is long for any of these new niggas. I feel like at least 5 years to say, oh yeah, this person been around, or he's been around for this long.
That's fair. Um. So then, okay. So 5 years is the standard. Then what would you consider someone? So how would you consider someone like Nikki?
What you mean?
Like, would you say she's like a full, like she's a? Because what's past that? So like, if we're saying 5 years is you've been in the game, um, I would say at least.
Well, Nikki is a superstar though. Like even if like I mean I'm not like a huge Nicki fan, but it's like almost anything she put her name on is probably gonna sell.
Mm, yeah.
And it don't matter how big any of these female artists get, Nicki will probably consistently be the biggest female artist we have for the as far as female rap artists. Because even it don't even matter if somebody came in and made kind of if somebody came in and they were just if they could rap better or make better songs or whatever. Because the problem, I mean, that's like any female that come in the game, they probably gonna try to say it's a beef with Nicki. Um, and it's gonna almost seem, for the most part, as if they trying to, they gonna make it seem like they trying to get fame or something like that off of Nicki.
How the fuck did Ben Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell end up on the same team? That's some bullshit. Yeah, well, and I get what you're saying. So then I would ask, at what point would you say you have to start considering her as, like, because part of being a legend in my eyes is longevity, right? At what point do you consider someone starting to go into legend territory then? Because I could see Nicki being around for at least 3 or 4 more years, if not 5 or 6 more years, and that's going to put her around 15 years.
Well, are you asking as far as the amount of time or the accolades? Because I mean, she definitely has the accolades that'll get her there.
That's what I'm saying. So she's got accolades. So really, all she's missing is longevity. Because I wouldn't call her a legend right now.
Well, I mean, I don't think Nicki is missing longevity. Nicki's been in the game. You gotta remember, they come, like you said, they've already, she's already been in the game. When did she kind of get on the scene? 09, like 8 years in. That's longevity.
No, she has. I'm talking about like legend status longevity though. Like I think the initial standard was, and it's not anymore, obviously, but I think when you hit like 15 years, like a lot of niggas are talking about like 15 years in the game, like you've been through a decade. Like that is, like you are a legend making it in 15 years.
Right.
So does Nicki hit legend status in 3 years? Or 4 years, whatever it is. Because I think she's even a little earlier. I want to say gosh, what year did I go to? I want to say it's like 07, 08 even. Because Bedrock was my freshman year. Like Bedrock was my freshman year of high school, and that was 08. And so, are we considering that like the pop off of Young Money?
Yep.
Okay, so she's got 10. She'll have 10 years. Okay, so in 5 years, are we calling Nicki a legend?
I mean, as far as the time thing, I mean, as far as the years on, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna say it take 15 years, because you talking. I mean, Biggie and Pac are considered legends.
Correct. They have also. Well, we know this for a fact, and this ain't to mean nothing. I'm not trying to speak bad about anybody. If you die, your reputation gets better.
That's a fact.
Like, if there is not a doubt in my mind.
That shit ain't gonna add 10 years. That shit don't add 10 years to your career.
Yeah. It's like the greatest rapper of all time would be 50 Cent. Get it actually dying at Get Rich or Die Trying. He'd be the GOAT. He'd 100% be the GOAT.
Cause then that's all. I mean, cause it's like that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like you just can't. You can't do. I mean, you can, but I feel like it is. I feel like it's got to be more than just the more to it than just the years thing anyway. Just because,
Well, yeah, no,
like
that's
I
why.
said, they
Like, I think you can have you 100% have to have both, and so that's why I'm like we're both giving Nikki that she has the accolades, right? Like, she's got that part down. So if she already has the
right.
accolades, then really what you need, to me, at that point is you do need some form of longevity. It's not just come out with like a 2 or 3 hit albums and now you're just a legend, right? Because you had 3 albums that were dope. Um,
Right.
like I wouldn't call. I think Cole and Kendrick have the catalogs that are building up to, and really are just missing the time to be considered legends. So it's like, would we say the same thing about Nicki?
Mm.
Especially,
I
I think
mean,
it's,
when are we starting this legend clock? Is this are we starting this from when they dropped their first album, when they dropped their mixtape, when their first mainstream song got onto the radio? When does this period start?
we'll start. Well, I consider introduction to the game is when it's like, especially in the mixtape era, when you have your first accepted project, right? So anybody like me and you could go on World Star or go on SoundCloud and drop an album, right? Don't mean like or drop a mixtape. It don't mean we in the game. It just means we had a computer and we had some audio shit and a microphone and we recorded something. But it's once you have like your first accepted project that it's like, okay, the world knows who
Well,
I
does
am.
it take a full project, or is it like just you? Because it's, I mean,
It could be a song,
shit, you
song or
got.
project. Sorry, it could 100% be a song because otherwise, then I couldn't count Cardi. It's like I wouldn't consider uh like what's and I fuck with it, but I wouldn't consider like Rose Red for Meek. I wouldn't consider that the start of like his clock.
Well, no, that's my shit. But
It is, but I don't consider like I want if I'm judging his
but
career,
that's
I'm
because
not starting.
with that it was one of the things where most people probably went back and listened to that after Meek kind of like Meek was what was Meek's probably big, what was his first song? I'm a Boss.
Yeah, when he got put on with that because that was the Maybach project, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like so that's what I would that's your first on the scene song and or project. Um, like I would say, gosh, I think that's kind of weird. No, yeah. So like comeback season would be Drake's start, even though I think he's got shit like that. I'm still fly and that's my shit.
I don't know if that's his start because I feel like I feel like his real start should have been so far gone. Because I feel like comeback season is something that
Well, he was already signed to
most
comeback
people.
season
You said what?
because he was signed at comeback season.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, because he got weight on that and everything.
What song is Wayne on comeback season?
Give me 1 second.
I can't remember it off the top. I can't think of the full playlist.
Ouch. I'm dropping shit.
Oh, is Man of the Year on comeback season?
I'd apologize about that. I had a family member call. Thought it was gonna be more serious than that. Cheddar, you got to move though. What is it? Let me look up the song real quick. Man of the Year.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was.
Like, so, and I do agree. I think a lot of people did go back and re-listen to it after the fact, but he was technically already.
Well, because I mean, I still feel like let's see.
Because what year was Room for Improvement?
That was like 07.
Because I think that's the one.
They say Drake signed to Young Money in 2009.
What year? Isn't comeback season's 08, right?
Let's see. Got it on my phone.
07.
Well, comeback season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So. And Room for Improvement should have been 06 then.
So was he just hanging out with Wayne or something, or Wayne already knew about him?
You gotta remember a lot of these guys, like before fucking Meek signed to Ross, he was like running everywhere with T.I. Like T.I. was supposed to sign him originally before he went to jail, but he didn't sign him because he was going to jail. Like so, like it ain't like these niggas start hanging out and they sign a record deal the next day. So I think what it is, he might have just Wayne was just showing that support and shit, and then because you still got to give a nigga time to figure out if that's what he want to do.
By the way,
like
Wayne might be the best boss ever. Wayne still puts niggas like Gutta Gutta on songs.
Hey, I was listening to that shit. I was like, hey, Gutta Gutta one of the goats. Like, it's only fucked up because most of the verses Wayne put them on, I usually kind of fuck with a little bit. Like, he be talking that shit and he got a decent flow.
He can rap. He was just on the wrong label.
I don't think he was on the wrong label. I think Gutta Gutta is like one of them street niggas that he one of those I'm not a rapper ass niggas. Like I think he one of those niggas.
I don't say it was wrong because like when Drake and Nicki both are on the same label around the same time, like that's just rough. Like, also Gutta Gutta is low key just security.
That's what him and T Streets. Like, mind you, one nigga named Gutta Gutta and another nigga named is T Streets.
Them niggas, they security.
Like you ain't never heard of like no real shit like you ain't never heard of nobody doing shit to them niggas.
Till Stunner got involved, started shooting up tour buses.
Them niggas probably wasn't there.
Like, but I know Wayne put his guys on. Like like it's corny, and as much as them suck, like I can respect that. Like I think that's dope. Cause like he never
gotta be talking that shit sometimes though.
Yeah.
Streets he ass every time. Like I don't think I ever heard like a T Streets verse where I was like, damn, that's hard.
I mean, to be fair, who's worse, T Streets or O'Malley?
Hey, O'Malley had the decency to call Beanie Siegel to ghostwrite some shit though.
Hey yo, like,
hey, no, yeah, O'Malley is definitely worse. Like, how you that ass with a ghostwriter?
I was just thinking that shit. Oh my god.
You remember when he was on Sway? When he went on Sway to do the freestyle?
Yo, that shit was the best.
Or the worst, whatever.
He just started like grinding when he couldn't think of a rhyme. He was like, ugh. I'm like, nigga, what?
That nigga, O'Malley definitely worse than T Streets. Like, how you like you said, how you that ass when you got a ghostwriter?
Yo. Yeah. No, Melly's trash. Um. What else was it?
They tried to get these with that like that's like when rappers try to get a they best friend the Memphis Bleak treatment and they just asked. Like everybody try to do what Jay-Z did with Bleak, except Bleak can rap.
Yeah. But
Oh shit.
what is
What
it?
else we got?
I'm trying. There's another sport I was looking at. Have you seen like the conversation people having with Durant and LeBron? Who's better right now?
Yeah.
Do you think it's an actual conversation?
No.
LeBron's better,
Yes.
and I don't want like so.
I mean, it's like, see, but it's like I'm not a like LeBron fan by any means, but it's like you can't like, and I got like other shit. Like LeBron is the best player in the league. I feel like LeBron don't have that like killer instinct that he should, and you know all of that shit. I don't feel like he's as clutch as some of the other these players that we consider the best and all of that stuff. But it's like it's real like it ain't a real debate like. Like number one, like I said, just because Durant can have a better season than LeBron by whatever numbers you want to put, but I don't think Kevin Durant is a better player than LeBron James.
I agree, and I'm actually talking about this on Monday, but I kind of want, as an intro to it, kind of spin off someone else's opinion. Do you think it's fair to say Durant is a bad matchup for LeBron?
What do you mean, like saying that LeBron doesn't match up well against Durant?
Yep.
No, because it's one of them things to where LeBron can't stop Durant. Durant can't stop LeBron. I mean, I don't think it's a bad matchup. Like I don't think LeBron. I mean, I don't think KD gives LeBron any problems that like any of the other top small forwards may have given him before. Like back when a few years back when Melo and LeBron would go at it. I don't think Kevin Durant has given LeBron any type of problems that other niggas haven't already.
So I make the case, and I think it's so Durant is in this like,
and at least one of those should have been a foul.
yes, but I think Durant is in the freaky arm class. So there's like three niggas who I think
Definitely.
arms are just weird. Like Durant, Giannis, and Davis have weird fucking arms. Rondo does too, but Rondo's not that tall. Rondo's got like 7-foot arms. That nigga's just built weird. Giannis can actually put his fucking hands down and touch his knees, which is almost disturbing to look at. But that nigga, we just talk about aliens. He's actually just an alien. But like with that, I think that's actually what gives LeBron trouble. Whereas I think when he would go against Melo, when he would go against Kobe, when he would go against even like Kawhi, they're all realistically, as freaky as LeBron is, they're in his body type. I think Durant not being his body type, and the only other game LeBron's really struggled this year, and obviously when I'm saying struggling, it's struggling for him. It's not like actually struggling. Is when he went to Milwaukee. Because freaky long ass arm Giannis, and now to be fair, a lot of niggas struggle with Giannis. That kind of thing I think fucks him up. The difference between Giannis and Durant is Giannis can only really fuck with him defensively. Durant can fuck with him defensively and offensively. Like, and I think it mentally fucks with LeBron that he can't play defense on Durant. Because Durant's not even small enough where when he would kind of like 2 years ago when he bullied Steph in the finals and he kind of like put his chest in him a couple times.
Right.
Durant, he can't do that with Durant. Not that Durant's strong. Not that Durant's like as strong or even close to as strong as LeBron is, but he's stronger than Steph. And so I think that's what gives. And LeBron is the better player, but I think Durant has the better matchup between the two. Because even the shit Durant can't, even like Durant not being able to guard LeBron, I don't really think that bothers him too much. Because nothing LeBron does is going to outwardly fuck with him.
Well, yeah, and that's because that's one of them things. I mean, I can agree with that just because it's like if LeBron shot ain't falling, then, you kind of living with a lot of LeBron shit.
Yeah. And driving to the rim, he's got help every time anyway. So it's like, even if he gets by, it's like, okay, he's supposed to get by me. Like, all I got to do is make him go left or make him go right. And then from there, I got Draymond behind me and, the MVP Zaza.
Oh, shit. Can't believe Jerry Goff just did that shit. Now, what week we in now? Is this week 15 or week 14 we in?
I'm 11-2 with the bye week, so week 15.
So we got 2 more weeks.
Yeah.
I think I was thinking about this shit last week. I'm like, fuck, I'm ready to get into the playoffs or some shit. So we can try to get through this shit. I kind of want to do another one.
Down.
I've been confused lately. I've been playing fucking NBA. I've been playing like NBA and Madden.
Now I can drop, because I got one of my guys out of the way. I've played through a full season with Aaron Rodgers. Now I can try to get Luke Kuechly. That's just a nigga. Like, I don't even know why. He's just a nigga I want to play with. Like, obviously he's a high ass overall and everything, but it's like, I normally don't get really good middle linebackers, but I also normally don't draft really good quarterbacks. So it's kind of like I want to try something different.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't even really know if I have like a strategy for like the next one yet.
Part of me wants to just say fuck offense, all defensive players. But I know that
I was just thinking that, but then it's like shit. It's like offense is the fun is probably like the more fun part to play and shit.
Yeah.
And you don't want to have like nobody to where you can't do shit.
And it makes it stressful. Because if you have, I always say like the game like slides it to like you have one bad game a year at least. And when you have a bad game on defense and no offense, you fucked.
Yeah. I've been wanting to play with one of the guys I've actually been wanting to use on offense is Odell.
But that would be dope. When he was a rookie, I thought one of the dopest teams I had was Julio Jones, Demaryius Thomas, and Odell Beckham in the slot. I knew I couldn't be fucked with. And like my head, I'm the GOAT.
Well, just for pulling that shit off.
Yeah.
This nigga Tyrod giving me a headache.
That's a nigga I want to play with too.
I hate playing against mobile quarterbacks.
Yeah. Also, I can play with Cam now because Cam was like the 16th pick. Like you can actually get him without having suck dick to get the first
without
pick.
having to, without having to risk it all.
Yeah.
Speaking of Tyrod, this nigga just ran for like a 30-yard touchdown on me.
Damn.
And now he doing the hotline blame Drake dance bullshit. Dick.
Would you ever punch a nigga for doing a certain celebration?
I'll punch a nigga for celebrating, period. Like, nigga, get on the bench. You scored already. But I don't know what you mean. What you mean, a certain type of celebration?
Like, if you felt like, do you remember the T.O. incident? Where he went to, like, to the Dallas, no, right? To the Cowboy star.
Oh, and did the little, yeah.
Like, would you ever react that way?
What? Maybe. I don't know. I'm kind of iffy about a lot of shit. Like, you catch me on a bad day, I'll react all types of ways. I mean, it's T.O. It's one of the things where it's like, it's almost like what shit you kind of. It's one of the things where you almost like you like it's T.O. what you know that's what he do, but then it's like one of the things like, nah, nigga.
Yeah. Like, T.O. need to get in the Hall of Fame this year. They need to stop bullshitting.
That's definitely a fact.
Him and Randy Moss. Like, if Randy Moss isn't a first ballot Hall of Famer, I don't know what is.
Oh, they tripping, yo. They definitely just made me tuck and run back like 16 yards. Like, I ran backwards and then they wouldn't let me pass it. That's when I started realizing there's still so much shit on this game I don't know how to do.
I feel you.
I definitely don't know how I did that shit. Oh, shit. Fuck my life.
Aaron Rodgers is 10 of 11 for 163 yards and a touchdown.
I just kicked the punt.
I'm sad I played the one game on like an hour of sleep and threw 7 picks.
you said you played one game on an hour on 1 hour of sleeping through 7 picks.
Yep. I fucked up my whole stat. Like, all my shit was bad.
I got these. I just punted the ball and downed it at the 1 yard line, yo. I'm about to definitely get this safety. Or not. Nigga tried though. I could still get it. These niggas only made it to the 3 yard line. Y'all got me all the way fucked up.
Juju. Let's go. That dude's gonna be crazy. He's 21. Just turned 21. Alright.
We got him down at the 1 again. It's 3rd down. I need this safety. I need this safety. Especially if I can get this safety in there and get a touchdown going into halftime. Y'all over. There you go. That's it. Safety. What? Oh, they tripping. They didn't call it a safety, yo.
They fucked you up?
They definitely fucked me. I hit the nigga probably at the 1 yard line, but he didn't go down until he was in the end zone. They don't know. I mean, I know the NFL been fucked up and everything. They don't know what's a catch and what's not a catch, but you know.
Yeah, now that rule is fucking stupid. Let's go, Juju. Touchdown. And that gives Aaron Rodgers 50 on the year.
Dog, they just punted it to me and then made me fumble and then ran it back.
Damn.
I don't even know who is my best player on defense. 'Cause I feel like my defense is all fucked up. I can't wait till next year. Well, not next year, but next year or whatever. next draft or whatever. What other topics you got, yo?
Yeah, fuck. Whatever the fuck that was. Let me see, I'm gonna pull up my phone here real quick.
Where are we at on time?
We already over. We at 2 hours 31 minutes right now. How about the Pelicans, yo? They have 20 points right now on the Nets, big time. Let me stop.
That's the Nets, yo.
Hey, the Nets beat who the fuck did the Nets just beat? The Nets beat Cleveland, or was that Boston?
Might have been Boston.
What about your
Bulls?
Bulls?
Still the Nets.
What about your Bulls, yo?
What about them?
The Bulls coming.
Chris Dunn out here balling.
That's my man's.
Chris Dunn out here balling, and we fucking with him. We waiting on Levine to come back. Even though, I mean, I know we ain't, I know the Bulls ain't gonna be like no top team, but I definitely feel like they could be an exciting young team with the talent they got over there.
Chris
I just
Dunn
don't like
is my
I don't like fucking Justin Holiday.
I don't either. His brother's better.
That nigga just chuck shit up. He's the definition of a shot chucker. But like between fucking with Chris Dunn, Zach LaVine, the dude Blakeney, he played pretty decent. Laurie Markkinen or whatever.
He's big time.
That's my guy.
I think he's gonna be big time.
I really like him. I wish. It was like that's when I realized like Fred Hoiberg was such an ass coach, because I'm like, all right, this is obviously your best like player right now. I'm like, and you don't run any type of plays. Like you don't do anything to try to get this guy set up. Like the only way he really get the score is if he managed to get a putback, or y'all finally decide to pass on a spot up three. But I'm like, y'all kind of, he don't run no type of fucking plays.
What about Lonzo?
What about him?
I'm just curious if you've been watching him lately.
Yeah, no, I mean, he cool. Like, I'm probably not as critical on him as everybody else is, because I still say that if people feel like he ain't living up to the hype, then that is what it is. But I still feel like the numbers he's putting up are like real good for a rookie.
100%.
These are numbers. Like these are numbers that if it was anybody else, these are great numbers. Like almost averaging a triple double as a rookie.
Yeah. Like, let's see here real quick. I think my issue, and like I even stopped talking on my podcast only because, like, to me the three most annoying storylines is because they're daily and people are changing their opinion on them daily, are the Warriors, the Cavs, or the Warriors, LeBron, and Lonzo. And it's like, if Lonzo got a good game, oh, he's great. If he got a bad game, oh, he's a bust. If the Warriors have a good game, oh, they're going to win it again. If the Cavaliers have a good game, oh, they're going to win it. And it's like they have a bad game, it's like, oh, see, the other team's better. and I'm just like, it for me personally, um, it got annoying, and I'm like, I don't even feel like it didn't become a sports talk anymore. It became just drama. It literally felt like it was like, oh, did you see what that bitch was wearing last week? And I'm not about that. That's pretty much actually. Now we covered pretty much everything I wanted to talk about. I don't know if you got anything else on your mind that's happened the last 2 weeks. If you want to give any shout outs to niggas making music lately.
Honestly, fuck, I don't know if I don't know if I really got anything.
I don't know if you got any personal projects you want to announce on here yet. If you waiting.
No, I'm working on some shit. I'm trying to get like some shit lined up to where I can do something else.
Yeah.
But there's more to come on that.
I'm even thinking about like changing up my schedule even for like what I do, and possibly switching to like one podcast a week, but making it like a full like hour and a half, 2 hour podcast, and then releasing kind of like a what are we talking about today kind of video like once a week.
Right.
And so it's just I'm playing around with a bunch of different things. Because it's like I like what I'm doing, but I'm willing to admit it's like it might not be there might be a better way to do it, and if there's a better way to do it, I want to be doing that.
Yeah, it's always. I feel like it's always like a better way to do some shit.
And you know, like I said, I got besides that, like I don't know, I've had like a really, and I'm gonna sound cocky as shit, but I'm gonna talk my shit, so fuck it. Like I've had like a really good like last 2 months, and because of the way I am, or someone called me cocky on it because I was talking about it when we was at a party with some friends, and they was like, "Oh, don't be cocky," and I'm like, "Nigga, do you know how many hours I put into this shit? Do you realize how much time I've had to give? Like, if I'm gonna be fucking cocky, I'm gonna be fucking cocky." You ain't putting these, like you ain't putting these out. You ain't the one staying up until 1:32 a.m. and gotta be to work at 6.
It's always different from outside looking in. Though you can't ever expect nobody to understand understand how you feeling. That's one of the things I learned. Like when everybody when you on the outside looking in, it's easy.
Yeah, like I be up like, and like I was like I posted that I think it was for Thanksgiving. I wasn't posted it. Like I posted the picture of it was like my grandmother's name, like all the shit I do throughout the week, and I'm like, yo, like I know y'all people couldn't do this schedule. I'm like 400 pages, the 3 workouts, 3 podcasts, streaming twice a week, which the streaming I know got fucked up, but the streaming only got fucked up because of the internet. I was still working on.
I figured. I mean, I know you be having a lot of other shit going on, and then I know like right now with my boss being out with surgery, it's like. I feel like my shit'll probably be a little bit more fluctuating now anyway, because it's like today. I mean, I planned on being home at 4, even though it was it kind of worked out because I think when you texted me, I had just really got home, but like now it's like when shit come up is my problem versus before like they would have to call the supervisor or whoever. So right now with me covering all of his shit, it's one of them things to where like. These guys can pretty much call me at any time now, 24/7.
That's why I was even going to talk about is even cutting down the stream to once a week. Because if we can get in like one good 2-hour episode a week.
Well, that's like usually it's just like I feel like it's really been more so just once a week. I think the other shit usually just because like if we just so happen to have another free day and we online, we like fuck it, just stream it.
Yeah. But it's like, well, for sure we'll do one a week, which will probably end up being like, gosh, and I hope she don't watch this because I was going to get in trouble. Having a girlfriend take too much fucking time.
I know.
Like, straight away. I really was thinking about it, and it's like I like seeing all that other shit, so I'm not trying to play that, but it's like I really just lose a whole day.
I told you, I was like, and you can't do shit about it.
Like, and I'm meeting like more family. We're going out tomorrow, so it's like from Thursday, Friday, and Saturday is just gone. And then like in my head, I'm like screaming internally because I'm like, because I know one of these that people like just like I just know people don't get it the same way I do. Is people like, oh, just take like a 30-minute nap or take like an hour nap, and I'm like, do you realize how much stuff I can do in an hour? Like, do you know like when I think of an hour, I got 60 minutes, and there's a lot of things I can do in 60 minutes. And they'd be like, no, there's not a lot of things you can, there's like, there's not that much you can do in 60 minutes. So like, no, there's not much you can do in 60 minutes. I can do a lot in 60 minutes.
I can show you what I can do.
Like, don't put your expectations, limitations on me. So it's like, when it's just like, oh, it's just one day a week, or oh, it's just like a couple hours, I'm like I tell people all the time with movies. Like, 2 hours, like, it's just a 2-hour movie, and I'm like, nigga, 2 hours, it's a lot of shit you can do in 2 hours.
That's a long fucking time, too.
Like, and I don't know, maybe I'm the weird one, but like, it's just, yeah, no, like this whole week, because like I already didn't plan on podcasting this week. Like I was taking the last week of the year off, and I was gonna start back up in the new year, right? And I realize it now, and especially since like I had the week off from the school, I shouldn't have told her I had the week off. That's what I should have done. Should have been like, nah, kids still, the kids still need daycare. Of course we open. Like, but, yo, what the fuck was that? How the fuck? Wow, they gonna score on this bullshit? Wow. Oh well. I'm still up 40-7. But like, yeah, no. So my whole schedule for the week, like, I had shit I wanted to get done, and it's just not gonna fucking happen.
I think, but I swear, I think didn't I tell you that like instantly? I was like, nigga.
It was like, and I already had like the thought in the back of my mind, which is like, I hadn't been in a relationship in a year and a half, and I got a lot of shit done in a year and a half.
No, what was gonna fuck you up is thinking that you can like, it ain't no, you can't make a schedule for a relationship. Like you can't make a schedule on like, oh, I'm gonna see her for this amount of time, and then go do this and do that. That shit is not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm learning.
It ain't no luck.
Because it was supposed to just be, gosh, I'm gonna get in mad trouble. She ain't even gonna watch this. What was it? Actually, before I say this, if I ain't gonna say this on stream, I'm gonna get fucked up. I can't have this like recorded and out somewhere. Anyway, though, if you like the weekend,
you get a pass on this fresh.
Like,
in a relationship, you get extra passes. Allegedly. I don't know this for a fact.
I just don't need it to be something where like it gets pulled up 6 months later. I might get the pass now, but if she pulls that shit up like 6 months later, like, no.
I mean, but then you can hit her with it. That was 6 months ago.
Hey, fuck it. There you go. You heard it here first. It's like, well, because we initially had agreed because she lives an hour away. It's like, I'll come up on Friday and spend like Friday and Saturday and shit, and leave sometime Sunday, right? Because I don't do a whole lot of recording. Because we could always stream on Sundays, and I'm like, all right, cool. And I don't podcast on other weekends. And that lasted for about a week. And then it was like, hey, can you come up on Tuesday? Hey, can you come up on this day? Hey, can you come up this day? Like, no.
And you can't say no.
Like, shit was, it was something else. Like, and it's like,
you definitely can't say no.
Well, like, what's crazy about it, let me get that catch, is, like, I'm supposed to go up there tomorrow, right? And I left this morning, and she's already, like, texting me about, like, why don't you just come back up tonight? And I'm like, yeah, that's just, it's a lot of gas. Like, like, I make good money. I ain't like, I make good money, but shit, I do drive a truck.
Never tell her how much money you make.
Like,
my girl live with me. My girl know how much money I'm making every day. I tell her I'm poor. That's a fact. And she would tell you that. She'd be like, "Oh, can we do it?" I said, "Look, I'm poor." Look.
What is it? Act poor, live rich, or act poor, stay rich, something like that.
And act poor and act poor. That was my motto. I ain't got shit, nigga. Shit. But that's it for the stream, though.
Yeah.
We can hop and just talk our shit.
Yeah. If you enjoy it, don't forget, leave a thumbs up. Go follow on Twitch. Go subscribe on YouTube. All my shit, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that shit is Heartfelt Podcast.
Follow me on Twitter at NFShow_.
You ain't gonna give away the gram?
Shout out to y'all. Thanks for listening.
You ain't gonna give him the gram, yo?
No. Look, I'm low on the gram.
I'll do it. I swear, yeah. Anyway,
I don't
though.
post shit on the gram, really. I'll be more so looking at shit.
Basically.
I think I actually did post something on the gram this weekend, though, but I feel like I only posted that shit because I was drunk. That was definitely New Year's Eve. I mean, that was definitely Christmas Eve, and I was drunk as fuck.
Niggas, yo. I don't know. This might end up becoming like as part of. I might end up throwing this on. It's just a way to kind of expand it too. Is throwing it on my SoundCloud because I can name it something different. I don't have to name it Heartfelt Podcast. So this might get turned into a podcast that y'all see on my SoundCloud, and that means it'll be on iTunes as well. So if you catch us, this has been No Feelings Meeting, episode 7, and let's hope we live to 8.
Hopefully I don't get sick again.
Peace.